Hello, CFA Nation, Gabe, and I am here to stream KKR versus SRH. I have a feeling Robbie may be feeling very good about himself, but woosah, it's okay. I'm back from vacacion. See the kids a little tan. I got one of these. I don't know if you guys ever seen these. These are like, I don't know, magnets or whatever. You're supposed to wear them around your neck, and it helps with good energy, positive energy. So I'm going to try to make it through a whole stream without losing my mind, even though Aaron Finch already lost his wicket in the first 5 minutes of the game. As usual, CFA Nation a little late coming to the party. And Aaron Finch has lost his wicket already. But it's a new and improved game. Back from vacacion. Not going to lose my mind. I'm going to try to woosah myself through this. Vicketish Shire now in the opening partnership. And him and SRH are going to have to try and carry this thing because Aaron Finch down on 5 balls. I missed you, CFA Nation. What's going on, Pushia? What's up, Dibbly Dobbly? What's good? What's up, Major Merc, Kapil, Valistone? Dibbly Dobbly, I have not seen your latest podcast. In fact, my wife kind of banned me while I was out there. Fun fact, while you're out in Mexico, for whatever reason, the ESPN Plus app didn't work, so I wasn't able to watch any of the matches, which was boo-hoo for me. But Dibbly, maybe you can help me out here. All right, I want you to do a podcast on why guys suck at opening. I'm just curious. Why can't they open? What's going on, Harry? What's going on, Kapil? Sirius Serious Liar is my captain as well, and or vice captain. He's on my team. I don't remember. We'll see what happens. Maybe that's the reason why CSK won. Yes, I'm trying to start this new woosah thing. Woosah. Thank you, Dibbly. What's going on, guys? Of course, I'm drinking out of my Halloween cup because this season has been a nightmare. However, CSK did get off the schneid, did win their first match. I'm happy about that. Very happy about that, especially because it was against RCB. Suck it, Nick. Even though my man Nick did a great job while I was away, holding it down. But we'll see what happened. Yeah, I got to back the mistress. KKR's got probably the only shot of making it in. CSK, I just think they're too far behind. They still have problems taking wickets up front, and it's just, until they get their bowling sorted out, you're not going to outslug guys every single game. All right, you needed a miracle from Robin Uthappa to get where we got. So we'll see what happens. DK in his prime at 38. Oh, DK. But what's going on, CFA Nation? Oof. Boovie, 3 straight dot balls there. Oh, Boovie looking good. Boovie looking good. And wow, Boovie finishes that over on 4 straight dot balls. I got to say, that's something that Nick and I was completely wrong about. I thought Boovie was done. He hadn't been taking wickets, guys. And Boovie looks like a different player this IPL. Maybe he just needed some rest. There is a conversation that, not possibly, but there is a lot of cricket, too much cricket. These guys need time to heal. I mean, he had Vicketish Iyer on that strike 4 balls in a row, and Vicketish Iyer could do nothing. 19 for 1 after 3 overs. And I mean, those last 2 deliveries were absolutely filthy. Vicketish Iyer is actually lucky he didn't lose his wicket there. Unbelievable. Oh, Boovie. Is DK a full-time commentator? Oh, my. Yeah, purple on purple. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Happy to be back. RCB missing Chahal. Thoughts? Chahal is a savage. Is he the leading wicket taker right now? I'm pretty sure he was the leading wicket taker last time I looked. Or is it Umesh Yadav? I can't remember. But yeah, Chahal, you know, going into the season, I think Nick and I picked him as one of the dark horses for the purple cap. I can't remember. But Chahal's been a monster. Chahal's been an absolute monster. And I think that RCB let him go, and they didn't realize, first and foremost, the last season and a half, 2 seasons in IPL weren't the IPL, right? They weren't in India. You were abroad in the UAE, and that really hurts him. But at home, in subcontinent conditions in India, Chahal's a monster. He's got one of the lowest economy rates. He takes those wickets. That was a big miss by RCB. I absolutely agree. Get back in. So the doctor, that is a great comment there. And I think it's going to be, I mean, amongst other things, right? CSK letting go of Faf, their opening partners, woes, you know, letting go of or not letting go. I get that they got outbid, but not having another frontline bowler because they know Chahar deals with those hamstring injuries. I mean, it's just rough. What's going on, Han? What's going on? I see Han in the chat. Venkatesh Iyer has no technique, looks very weak. I said he ascended very quickly to even the international scene. And I get it. People explain, listen, it was a matter of opportunity and him being the best available because he was an all-rounder. But I think he got promoted way too quickly. And I think he's been exposed. Honestly, I think he's been exposed. To be honest, I think it's similar with it's a similar thing, right? With what's this boy's name from CSK, Rutraj Gaikwad, who was good for 2 years, but you know, it's I don't think Rutraj Gaikwad was ready to handle the opening partnerships by himself without Faf. And when you don't have another good opener, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. But it is what it is. My man Han, that's right. The kid is back. The kid is back. New and improved kid, okay? No ranting. No ranting. I shall remain calm. SRH win this match. Well, they won the toss, so that helps for sure. And I think that, you know, SRH, honestly, they've had a rough season. I know that Robbie is very happy. They've won 2 games in a row, and the 2 games they won, by the way, were against CSK, defending champions. Robbie made sure we knew about that. And they won against the Darlings, right? The undefeated of the IPL, the Titans. But they lost a major weapon. And I picked them last match, and then he ended up getting injured. So, of course, there's no what's the all-rounder's name, guys? Help me out. He's out today. I'm still on vacation mode. Vacacion. You would call me out for that, Han. He said 2-story bungalow. All right, it wasn't a bungalow. It was like a casita. Washington Sundar is out. That's who's out. But yeah, it's what are you gonna do? But SRH might have a chance. They're chasing to win this match. We'll see. You seen that new fertility doctor Netflix trailer? I have not, guys. I have not. You know what's funny, actually, in this spot that we stayed at, it's a family property that they actually rent out there or whatnot. And there's no television. You know what I mean? It's got Wi-Fi and everything like that, but that's part of the point to be out there. And and down goes Venkatesh Iyer. What did I tell you guys? Venkatesh Iyer. Down goes Venkatesh Iyer. Natarajan into the attack. Very first ball. And the Yorker King absolutely bowls him. It's all right, Han. I hadn't been paying attention. The fantasy wasn't work. I mean, there was nothing I could do. Yes, 25 for 2. You guys may be right. You know, SRH right now is holding court. They're holding court. Marco Jansen got himself a wicket already. Natharajan got himself a wicket. Very economical for Bhuvi. 2 overs, 15 runs. It's not looking good. And Venkatesh Iyer, I mean, the opening partnership has been an issue for KKR in the 2 years I've been a fan. I remember they had Shubman Gill the last 2 years, and they put everybody to open with him. From Nick's favorite, the Hamburglar, to Nitish Rana, Rahul Tripathi, who's now playing on the other side, SRH. And they cannot find a stable opening partnership. I mean, this year they tried Rahani, right? Rahani, Ajinka couldn't get it done. And opening is important. Spacing that new ball is so important in the IPL. And I was asking Dibbly Dobbly, why do guys struggle so much opening in the IPL? It is brutal. It was a good ball, though. It was a good ball. This is a great question. Han says, Gabe, thoughts on Joe Root stepping down as England's captain? I'll be honest with you. I was unaware. A couple people hit me up on Twitter again, being out of town. And England's been going through stuff. England has been going through stuff. And you knew that when England dropped both Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson and try to justify it with their garbage, it was going to be upheaval, especially after they lost the series in the West Indies, both series. I mean, here's the thing, guys. It's Joe Root is a great player, but at the same time, does that make him a leader of men? And when you've got him and Stuart Broad going back and forth at each other through the media, that's a problem. That's a problem. So, I mean, England is in a rebuilding phase, so we'll see what happens. England is in a rebuilding phase. We'll see what happens, man. That's very interesting, to say the least. And man, I can't wait to talk to some England fans and get their perspective on it. Sunil Narayan comes in and pumps Natharajan for 6. Pumps him for 6 there. And next ball. Oh, wow. Natharajan gets him out. Natharajan gets him out. I know you guys say it's Natharajan. I don't know what to tell you. But Natharajan gets him out. 6 and out. And yeah, this is going to be a short game for KKR if we can't get anyone to establish a partnership with SRH Iyer. Are you kidding me? 6 and then out. Oh, daddy. And you saw right away, Natharajan said, all right, you want to hit me for a 6? I'm going to go ahead and adjust a little bit. And you got to be able to establish yourself. You cannot come in swinging right away. What's the answer? I'm not ranting, by the way. What's the answer? Somebody tell me. Who do you guys want to open? KKR fans, please tell me, please. Who can help? Who? Anyone? Exactly. Yeah, a very good opener, Dibbly, and Aaron Finch just cannot play in the IPL. I don't understand. It's so frustrating. Let me just update the score. KKR is now 31 for 3 in the 5th over. You can't make this up. At least Nitish Rana comes in with a little bit better form. Doesn't try to hit a 6 immediately. And it's going to be no run there. We'll take it. Interesting. Finch selection was a terrible mistake. Listen, I'm not disagreeing. But they've got to figure something else. Who else is on this run? Another dot ball there. Oh, what an over for not Ryan. Is that a 6-run over? A 6-run 2-wicket haul in that over? Oh, not the Ryan. Surely Finch failed enough to be dropped now. Isn't this Finch's first game? That's hilarious. What's going on? What's going on, CFA Nation? Help me out, guys. What's the answer? Who can open? It's not Nitish Rana. It's not Nitish Rana because Nitish Rana was there last year and the year before that, and he struggles opening too. I don't understand why they didn't make a different decision in the auction. And the minute they let go of Shubman Gill, I'm like, okay, who's gonna open? Mind you, SRH IPL isn't even the opener. All right, he comes in at 3. They have no opening partnership, no opening batting. It is ridiculous. Who do they put up there? Guys have already failed, and it's just Aaron Finch obviously isn't the answer. Neither is SRH IPL. SRH IPL, in my opinion, guys, he needs to be dropped in the order. Maybe not dropped off the team, but he needs to be dropped in the order. He doesn't deserve to open. He hurts the team opening. Honestly, he does. He does. I don't know. Maybe Sheldon Jackson, put him up there to open. I don't know who else you go to. SRH IPL there with a beautiful 4 to long on. Marco Jensen. And this is why the IPL is so unpredictable, man. KKR, you know, sitting towards the top of the leaderboard, but when you see a match like this, you're like, oh my gosh. And then a team we thought were done in SRH, they look good right now. If they win one more game, 3 in a row, they're back in it. They're back in it. I mean, guys, you can't make this up. You just can't. I'm super impressed by Hardik Pandya. You know what? You guys, Nick and I never saw this Hardik Pandya. He was on my team his last game, and I put him in there. But Nick and I never saw this guy when he was with Mumbai because he was always hurt. And I mean, when he bowled, he was getting pumped. But you guys mentioned Gabe. This guy's a monster. He was just hurt. He was just hurt. And I think that Mumbai made a mistake. I love Pollard, but Pollard's older, right? They could have passed up Pollard, maybe got him back in the auction. But, I mean, they still have, of course, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever was is going to be in Sky. Rohit. I like Ishan Kishan, but I think I probably would have kept Hardik, man. Hardik is a monster. Finch has been struggling for some time. It's just a matter before he retires. Matter of time before he retires. I hope so, because he's on my squad. Narayan as a top order batsman is a huge issue for KKR. He just isn't that good. Not the open. You're right, Han. Not the open. He can come in and get you some quick runs, but not the open. They tried that before. It don't work. What's going on, Don Antonio? What up? Good to see you, my man. Gabe, I think opening need good coordination built over years. Recently, it's been instability in opening pairs for teams. And with 2 new teams, so many options and new options, the coordination is missing. I agree. And I think that people saying, what's the biggest issue with Ruturaj Gaikwad? I really think he misses Faf. I do. They had a really good opening partnership established before, and now he's there, and it's been Devin Conway opening with him, Robin Uthapa opening with him, different people, and he can't get settled in. And you're right, you need a good coordination between opening batsmen that just has not been there for Ruturaj Gaikwad. And that is a terrible power play. 38 for 3, 6 overs in the books. Let me go ahead and update that score. This is not bueno. Now, the good thing is, of course, that SRH has some issues of their own in the scoring department. But I mean, it's got to be a realistic score for KKR to try and defend. Let's see what happens. They have some opening partnerships, duos of themselves. Their bowling is fine. Wow. Okay. You think Venkatesh Iyer should be fine opening at one end? He should be fixed there. What else can you do? Hey, Gabe, what's going on with Mumbai and CSK? Mumbai are out. CSK still have a chance, but barely hanging. I'll be honest. Nick and I discussed this, and I think that different things happened. I don't think Mumbai, for instance, went into the season trying to necessarily win this auction or win right now. They took a long approach. And the reason I say that is because they spent $1 million over the next 3 years, basically. So $3 million on Jofra Archer, who they knew wasn't going to bowl this year. And they have no idea what Jofra Archer is going to be once he gets back. Okay. Then Mumbai also, they knew that a lot of their players were going to get, same thing with CSK, but a lot of their players were going to get poached by other teams. So they went out looking for young talent, which they did get in Baby AB. We saw Baby AB arrive not too long ago. So I don't think that they tried to necessarily build a team to win this year. I think it's a long-term thing with Mumbai. We'll see if it pays off. They try to go with some guys. They've got some guys we've never heard of. Is it Burma? The uncapped player that they put in there quite a bit. They've got some spinners we never heard of. So they're trying to look for talent. I think CSK got caught in a position where, all right, they just won the championship. Unfortunately, they lost some of their mainstays they thought they were going to get back. And losing Foth, losing Hazelwood, I mean, it just really hurt them in a way that I don't think that they anticipated. I think they thought Ruturaj Gaikwad was ready. He's obviously not. And they put all their basket in Chahar. They wanted to be loyal to Chahar. CSK is loyal. But Chahar, I don't know if I would have done that because Chahar he's hurt. Since I've been watching CSK, every season he misses games. So, I mean, right now I think that they're both in, if you could say, rebuilding and searching stage. Now, CSK did the same thing. They got a lot of Indian players, some young guys. So I think that they're trying to look for that new talent, and we'll see what happens. But that's a great observation there. Was the thought of returning and seeing Nick enough to make you want to stay in Mexico for longer? Actually, I was texting Nick all the time, like, hey, what's going on, man? Whatever. I jumped in the stream a couple times while he was there, just talking smack. I actually tried to join so he could send me a link, but I couldn't do that at one point when I was losing my mind. So I had to make a little video for y'all, but it's all good. Sunrisers have momentum on their side, and that's very important to have in cricket, the momentum. When you win a few games, your confidence grows and you start to believe. Oh, that's important in any game. Okay? Belief is important in any game, in any sport. You got to believe, all right? I mean, my dad, I remember, and Natish Rana with a 6 there to end the over, pumps Malik for 6 and gets on the board finally. 47 for 3, 47 for 3. All right, 7 runs off that over, much better over. That's sad. Or 9 runs off the over, I should say. Much better over. That's their best over thus far. That's sad. But my dad used to ask me or tell me Like, have you ever seen a man with another man in his mouth like a lion? It's a Spanish saying, so it doesn't really translate as well. Like, huh, what? And when you walk in the ring, right, to bang out the box, right, it's like he's a man just like you are. He's a man just like you are, and you can't walk in the ring ever thinking I can't beat this guy, because you're done. Hang him up, cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I think and it's the same thing in any sport. It's confidence. You got to have confidence that you can perform, because if not, you're always in between. You're in the middle. You're second judging yourself, while the other guy isn't. The other guy's in attack mode. So you got to be ready to go in there confidently. And honestly, I think that's sometimes what you see in some young players. Rutgers Gaikwad looks very indecisive. Okay, he gets caught between trying to defend and trying to play a ball, and he looks very, very indecisive at times, and that's not a good thing. You should always be confident and have a plan, know what you're going to do. I didn't notice that. No team in the 100 picked David Warner. I did not know about that. That is dumb, I think. David Warner should have absolutely been picked up, and interesting. That is absolutely crazy. A lot of grass in it. Yeah, a lot of grass on the pitch. These pitches have played very differently than I expected. Whew. Very interesting. I think Mumbai spent way more for Kishan. He ain't that spectacular, nor is he someone like Boomer or KL Rahul. I do think they overspent on Ishan Kishan. I do see, though, that he's a young guy, and they needed a wicket keeper. They knew they were going to lose Quinton de Kock, so I get it, but that was way too much money to spend. I agree. Wow. Hardik said he wanted to captain Mumbai, or he didn't want to be retained. I did not realize that. Interesting. And there goes another 4 by Nitish Rana. There goes another 4 by Nitish Rana. And, we're in the 7th over, and that's why you got to have really good guys, to survive that new ball in the usually in the power play, because once the ball gets beat up a little bit, it's going to be easier to handle. But man, these guys at the top order just can't seem to get it done for KKR so far this year. So many teams performing so well. How can someone form an 11 out of these players? Selector's job is the toughest. I gotta agree. Oh yeah, selectors absolutely got a tough job. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely have a tough time. Yeah, Mumbai lost Hardik. They lost the best player in the world. I mean, in the league right now. I agree. They got to be sick to their stomachs. Faf is an imposter. I think it's hard for players when they go to other teams as well. Faf does not look like himself. Sonny, yes, I said that. Remember, at the auction, I had some names on my board, and they kept letting them go. I don't know. I could understand they wanted the Indian court. Why not go after Krishna? Why not go after Krishna? I don't understand. And this CSK got ate up at the auction. Bottom line, they got ate up, and so did Mumbai, for that matter. They got absolutely the other teams manhandled them at the auction. There's no other way to say it. This team is this season has been competitive. All 8 teams except for Mumbai and CSK in it. I agree. It's been a very competitive season. I think that 2 runs there by Nitish Rana. What is that? Point back there? 2 runs by Nitish Rana. And that is the end of the over. That is the end of the over, right after a wide. And let me go ahead and update the score. 57 for 3, 57 for 3. I think that those were the teams that lost. Think about it. CSK and Mumbai probably lost the best players in. Obviously, Mumbai won the year before last. CSK won last year, and they got their teams absolutely decimated. So, by the way, did DC Capitals. They lost a lot of players, but that's a sign of how good their players were. You know what I mean? Everybody went after them, so it's a tough thing. I jump in the stream too if I saw Nick was approaching. Take my chances with the crocs and the piranhas. Actually, no crocs and piranhas out there. Not where we were in Puerto Vallarta, little town called Salulita. Oh, that's funny. Gabe, CSK is looking at Mumbai. How's that wooden tasting? Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso. Is it true your boxing gloves were in mint condition when you retire, but your mouth guard was worn down on the size of a tic tac? No, I went through quite a bit of a pair of both mouth guards and boxing gloves. That's funny. Am I gonna watch any of the county championship? Leo, it depends what the schedule is, and we don't get a lot of those games on ESPN Plus, which is what we get here to watch most of the games. Maybe on Willow. I'll have to check if it's on Willow. Hopefully. Right now, obviously, we've got a little vacation time as we're out of school. So I'm going to be doing some streaming in the next few mornings. I'm excited about that. Excited to get back in it. Maybe we can try to get in a little bit of that county championship. Check when do they play? Ollie Pope and folks. Ooh, 3 a.m. our time. Yeah. 3 a.m. our time. Yeah. Maybe towards the end of it, boy, because that 3 a.m. is not looking good. So as we're in a timeout right now, I mean, 57 for 3, 8 overs. That's still not the middle. You know, usually I don't like to make a prediction until about the 10th over. But what do you guys think? Maybe 140, 150? What would be a decent score from this point forward? Good Titan says, "Who's these Americans clowning us? Who's on? Who's on? Who's on top? Hold that, cousin." I did not hear it. I did not hear the new song, Sonny S. I hope there is a real that there's a song. We'll see. And in comes Jadesh Satuth. I have not seen him ball at all, and he immediately gets pumped for 4. He immediately gets pumped for 4. This is one of those unknowns with CSK, right? And next ball just goes for a single. 5 runs off the 2 balls, though. That's not good. What did we... Prithvi Shaw's batting. Prithvi Shaw, I tell you, the guy's had a lot of talent, but I think it's his approach. He doesn't have the patience to be an opener. I saw him fall many times last year and the year before that with Shiga Darwin. And remember, he made the Indian international team and ended up getting sent down. I think he's got a lot of talent. Maybe it's just a level of maturity he has to reach. That is a very, very astute observation from you, Han. Here's the thing. Spanish from the Caribbean, whether you're in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, we speak it very differently than Spanish from Mexico or even, Spain, Argentina. They speak a Spanish. There goes a 4. Oh, Nitish Rana. Nitish Rana trying to do his best to establish a partnership here with SRH Iyer, the captain. It's a derivative in the Caribbean. Ours is a offshoot of Spanish, of the original Spanish. So yeah, it's more like a dialect, really. We can understand each other, but yeah, it's more slang, so to speak, but not slang. It's just that in the Caribbean, we also are mixed in with the Aboriginal people from the Caribbean. So the Taino Indians that used to be there, along also with the the Caribbean has a very interesting, rich history, man. If you look into its history of, all the different demographics, like if you go into Dominican Republic, or even, that's how come you've got Haiti, who speaks French and speaks Spanish, which Haiti is one side of Dominican Republic, one island, two different nations, two different languages, Spanish and French. One is Spanish based, the other one is African American based. It's so interesting. Let's see what happens here. Last ball. Oh man, is that going to be a run out? Come on, not like that. And whew, he survives. Looked like it could have been a run out, but no, he survives. All right. Dibbly, let me go ahead and see if I can. What did I send it to you last time? Maybe you could talk me off this ledge. And Malik to Nitish Rana, 1 run. Just a single there. You know what, Nick? I think you sent it to Nick last time. Do me a favor, send it to Twitter. Send it to tweet it out to me. Tweet me the email to send it to. No run there. Malik, no run to SRH Iyer. Great ball. And there goes a single for SRH Iyer. Playing slowly. He's playing very slowly. I think he has to. He realizes he's got to make it to, at least the death, and then you can go ahead and use your other sluggers, because you're down 3 wickets, so you've got to play slowly. Down 3 wickets, you've got to play slowly. I mean, you still have some firepower on Andre Russell. Patty Cummings can swing the bat a little bit. Sheldon Jackson. But, I mean, it's really Andre Russell you're counting on. And Russell's not going to carry you 10-plus overs. Sorry, he's just not. So, I understand him having to play slowly right now. That's going to be, I think he's forced to do that when the batters in front of him just willy-nilly give up their wickets, though. Do you guys think SRH IPL is playing too slowly? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, send it to me on Twitter. Please, Dibbly. In Europe, we learn Spanish from Spain, so it sounds like Zapata instead of Zapata, and a V is a B sometimes. Yeah, that's correct. Exactly. The Spanish is just different. Oh, and the game is over. Just as I say, he's batting too slowly. Malik bowls out SRH IPL, and this game is over. Over. I mean, I are they going to bring in Sheldon Jackson? What are they going to do? SRH IPL, unfortunately, could not make it 28 on 25, and he needed they needed a big score from him, did not get it. Malik on the last ball there gets him of the over, and this team is in trouble. If they get to 140, they're in good shape, guys. I can't see it. Could this be a third win in a row? A third win in a row for SRH? Ew. Oh no. This is scary. This is scary. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is scary. I don't think Robbie will be able to contain himself. Alrighty. All right, and link is sent. Feel free to hop on and come woosah this game with me. 10115. Whoa. Did I lose my mind? Did I lose my mind? Come on. I haven't lost my mind just yet. I said the game was over. Who are they bringing in? Sheldon Jackson? Yeah, that's what I figured. Bring in Sheldon Jackson because you're not gonna get Sharma. No spamming, please. You're not gonna get a full complement. There's no way you get 10 overs from Andre Russell. He's just that's not what Andre Russell does. What's up, Baraf? Thank you. I did see that email, and I will respond to you after this match. Sorry, man. I was out of town and had a lot to do. Yeah, this pitch is a fast bowler's paradise. Movement, bounce, spicy. I mean, it's brutal. What's going on, my girl, Reneel? Time out. Get him. Get him. What's going on, Varun? Oh my gosh. Are you serious right now? Please tell me you're joking. Please tell me you're joking. If they have you seen it's confirmed Deepak Chahar has been ruled out of the IPL for this season. Replacement will be announced soon. Hold on, where's it? Stupid. Hold on. I don't know, some magnet, something, censure, I don't know. It's supposed to help me center myself and help with like aches and pains and woosah. All right. All right. No raging. No raging for me. I'll have to not rage. How was the vacation? Barab, it was awesome. Mexico's awesome. Had a lot of fun. And, ate a lot of good food. Drank way too much tequila. It was cool. What's up, Krishna? Wow, Deepak Chahar ruled out 4 months. He'll miss the T20 World Cup as well. For the love of Pete. Wow, that is absolutely brutal. Yeah, CSK's season is over. Them and Mumbai can just, battle over the wooden spoon. Wow. That's brutal. It's brutal. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Yeah. Yeah, that was pitching outside leg. Why that appeal? I guess, just try to kick them while they're down. But, I mean, you've got this game well in hand. No reason for that there. All right, dot ball by, is it Sutish? And last ball of the over. There we go. A single. It gets Nitish Rana off strike, which means he'll retain the strike in the next over. You don't want Sheldon Jackson having to face. I'm sure they're going to go right back to Umik. They're probably going to go right back to Umik. I mean, he's been hot. He's taking wickets. Malik still has Umar Malik, excuse me. He still has 2 overs. So let Sheldon Jackson try to settle in and try to get the score as close to 100, 110, 120 before the death, and then let Andre Russell come in and do his thing. Man, this is not good. Gabe, did you watch CSK versus RCB? Uthapa, dude, were on fire, and Dubé were on fire. I was again. It was so brutal. You cannot. ESPN Plus did not work for me out there, and every time I logged in, it would say no games available or whatever, which was frustrating. But I followed it online, obviously, and yeah, I let Nick have it. Of course, Nick was not a happy camper. So 11 overs in the books. 11 overs in the books. 75 for 4. CFA Nation, welcome back. Welcome back to the kid. Be kind. Be kind. Adam Milne is also injured. Holy cow. Not good at all. Yes, Good Friday today. Good Friday today. I will be enjoying my traditional turkey feast. I don't like doing tickets. Oh, Nitish Rana with a 6. He said, hold that, not the Rahan. Hold that, cousin. And Nitish Rana won't run away from being the leading scorer so far for KKR. Second ball of the over. Little dot ball there. All right. I mean, again, they have to try to get to at least 140, 150 total to try to have a defendable score, because this is a really green pitch, man. And with Patty Cummings, all right, Umesh Yadav, even Andre Russell might be able to do a little damage on this pitch. This is actually why I picked Russell. I think he might be my captain or vice captain. I can't remember. But they've got the pace. They've got the pace to take some wickets. They've got to have a defendable score. If it's anything less than 140, they're done. They need like a 150 score, I would say 150 easy to try to defend it. And there's 2 runs there for Nitish Rana. Little sweep. He's got to be careful with that shot, though. We need you, Nitish Rana. We need you. Natharajan's next delivery. Oh, pump for 4. Oh, Nitish Rana. He's saying, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Nitish Rana gets a 4 to, what's that, extra cover? Ooh, okay. Showing a little life. It's not over. What's going on in the team? What's going on? Oh, for Pete's sakes. Don Antonio, don't. Yes, Gabe. Replacement for Deepak Chahar was announced. It's Sam Curran. Oh, wow. Oh, Woosa. This magnet thing is not working, by the way, guys. Woosa. Really? Really? Sam Curran. Is there no one else? Okay. That's not a rant. Is there no one else other than Sam Curran? Please. Oh, man. Come on. Is there no one else? Anyone? Are you on spring break, Miniteum? Hopefully. You got through finals, I'm sure. And they're saying wrong news. I need to know if this is true. Oh, and here we go. We have ourselves a minor internet celebrity, a superstar, Jack from the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. We know him here as Dibbly. Dibbly, talk me off a ledge here. I just heard Sam Curran is back in the IPL. I mean, honestly, are they just giving money away? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure, Gabe.
Very charitable organization. You know what I mean? For like $1 million, you too can feed the Curran family. Are you serious right now? Oh.
Well, that's news to me. But, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Gabe. It's great to talk cricket with you as always. And thanks for those kind words. And hello, everyone. Renell, hello. I hope everyone's well. Join some IPL cricket. KKR need to get a bit of a roll on here.
It is, I'll tell you right now, Jack, things do not look good. And they've got to try to make it all the way to the, I would say to the death before Andre Russell has to come in. Nitish Rana is doing his best job. It's 94 for 4 at the moment. So he's doing his job, I would say. But there's this discussion about all the injuries in the IPL. And even prior to the IPL, going back 2 years, Nick and I were trashing Hardik Pandya. And people are like, guys, Hardik Pandya is one of the greatest all-rounders India has right now. He's just been injured. And then we think about all the other injuries we've seen, from David Warner's groin that took forever to heal to Jack. It's just too much cricket. Think about it. Yeah. We just, right after IPL, we got the 100 going. We've got the Big Bash League. We got the CPL. then you got the T20, you got the Sri Lankan League. There's just these guys play year around, man. And how do you not let your body heal? How do you not let your body heal? I think that in the future, and you may be able to give me some more insight. I'm England. England is right now in a very bad position. Very bad position. They lost their captain. Obviously, I want to hear your thoughts on that, on Joe Root. You know, before that, they had dropped both Stuart Broad. It looks like they're ready to move on from both Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson. And their best young bowler is injured because he bowls everywhere else. Do you think that international teams are going to start restricting how much their players can play other places? I mean, Nick and I, this is a conversation, a video Nick and I want to do, but we want to bring in some more intelligent minds when it comes to it. Yourself, obviously, Aaron, Azjad. I don't know how you do that, but could they put something in their contract saying, listen, you know, you can only play in one or two other leagues. It cannot, you know, interfere with our schedule, or you're getting dropped off the international team. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. It's too much cricket. You know, I can't keep up with cricket these days. You know, I'm sure you and Nick and Gabe are, Nick and yourself, Gabe, are the same because you're trying to do live streams, whatever.
Right.
Same with the players. It is something that needs to be looked at by the ICC in terms of what they do with their future tours program. What that is, Gabe, is that they give out the program for the next couple of years to all the countries and say, you're going to play a series against the West Indies. Australia and the West Indies are going to play this summer here in Australia for 2 test matches. So they do it in advance. So the cricket boards have to agree. So it's about teams trying to manage their players. Like in the recent Pakistan ODI series that Australia played, they didn't have Cummins, Warner. Steve Smith was injured. He was going to play that series, but you know, his elbow was playing up, so not risk it. They played the second team, which they did okay. They lost 2-1, and I predicted that. But teams are doing that after long test series. Like when you go into an ODI T20 series, you give other players a go and you try and rest them that way. But many people don't like that because you want to play your best 11. But that's not possible in this day and age where there's so much cricket on. It's there's no off season in cricket. You know, here in Australia, it's the off season because it's winter now, because we just had our summer. And now you got to go overseas for tours away. And that's what Australia did to Pakistan. Then they go to Sri Lanka in June, July, and then India, which will be probably early next year at this stage when they schedule that. So as you said, it's just too much cricket. And we're seeing a lot of injuries, especially for the last 2 years, because players have been isolated, sitting in your room. You're not moving around. You're getting muscle, soft tissue injuries and all that stuff. So I think cricket teams have to be smart about domestic competitions as well, like the IPL. Do we allow you to play the IPL, or do we allow you to play half the IPL, then you've got to come back or something like that? So it's something that the ICC need to look at, because it's becoming more of a problem now where we've got these leagues popping up around the world. And with more cricket, the volume of cricket has increased compared to the old days where you played less, like in Don Bradman's time, for example. It's now grown and grown and grown now with T20 cricket, the 100, and various T20 leagues around the world. So it's something that needs to be looked at. Even this IPL is too long, in my opinion. It's too long, like 70 games or something.
I absolutely love the IPL for sure. And, you know, I was just reacting a minute ago while you were talking. You know, this game is, there goes Sheldon Jackson. Umik Malik gets him on the last ball. You know, Nitish Rana is doing all he can do. But now, I mean, you got to bring in Russell at this point, and it's just, I don't see Russell going through 13th over, so they got to get through 7 overs. I just don't see it. He doesn't have the patience to play that way. I could be wrong, but here's the thing: if I am the West Indies, if I am England, if I am even think about India. India just lost Deepak Chahar, which is one of their best. He's out of the T20 World Cup. I mean, man, you know what I mean, dude? Like so much. You got to be able to go to your players and say, all right, this is going to be the deal. And maybe it may just also be a matter of having your set T20 squad, your set test squad, your set ODI squad, and if there's a T20 match, then you're not playing whatever in the IPL, you're not playing in the BBL, or you're not playing in the 100, whatever, you know what I mean? Just something to get because there's too much. And here's the thing, players will play. I get it. Players got to pay bills. Everybody thinks that, these players are rolling in dough. Unless you have professional athletes in your family, you don't realize the amount of money for the most part isn't for the average player. The compensation isn't up to par when you think about you're an independent contractor. I don't know how it works in cricket, but at least in baseball, your contract, for instance, as a minor leaguer might be, $250,000, right? Let's say, and that's a lot. Some of these guys only make $100,000. But you're right off the top, at least here in America, you're losing 33% of that. All right. Then on top of that, that's for the entire year. You've got to, you're doing a lot of bringing your family, because the team pays for you to travel, but not your family. And you're spending so much time. You want your family to come out to see. It's not so I don't knock the players, dude. I get it. They got to get paid. But maybe it's the ICC figuring out how to get a bigger pie or a bigger cut of the revenue stream to the players to play in test or play on the international teams, so that they don't feel like they have to play all these other leagues. Because the bottom line is, I get it. Players got to feed their family.
Yeah.
But at the same token, think about the injuries. Andre Russell always hurt. The West Indies, come on, you can't tell me when you watch this guy play that they can't use Andre Russell when they don't have a guy that's a death bowler. They don't have a guy, that can really go in there and stop the bleeding other than Jason Holder. Now we've got, a couple other guys that have emerged, Odain Smith, but he won't play for the West Indies, but he'll play in the CPL and the IPL and the BBL because he's getting paid. So you got to be able to figure out to get more money to these players so they'll play for those domestic teams, and maybe shorten the schedule, man, because the injuries, the rash of injuries, bro, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I'm more concerned for bowlers. I'll be honest, I don't like what I heard from Jofra Archer. It started off with a shoulder, then it went to an elbow. Once it starts going I want no parts of it. I can't believe the Mumbai Indians gave him $1 million. That's 3 years, right? The next mega auction is what, 3 or 4 years? So for 3 or 4 years, this guy's gonna be getting $1 million, and you don't know what you have.
Yeah. It was a big risk. I was like, "You sure about that?" He's not going to play. He said he didn't play. He's not going to play. So why risk it? But they want him for the future. But he may not come back. You never know. He may retire. It's a possibility. It's just crazy, and it's something that the ICC need to look at. But they will never shorten it because everyone wants money. It's about revenue. It's about money.
It's about revenue.
It's a money game now, cricket.
You're right about that. Let me ask you, what is a worse injury for a bowler in cricket? Is it the elbow or the shoulder?
It would be the shoulder, but it's mainly the back. A lot of stress fractures in bowlers.
The back, interesting.
Yes.
I mean, baseball, we have back injuries, but usually it's the shoulder. Elbow, we got what's called Tommy John surgery, where the UCL, which is this like on the inside. If you feel, where's my camera? Right over here. This is what they tear, and they go ahead, they go in there, tighten that thing up or whatever. Once it tears or whatnot. They have the surgery. Guys come back throwing harder than ever, and they're good for 3 to 5 years before it goes out again. And the more breaking balls you throw, basically either curve balls or sliders, that puts a lot of stress on that elbow. But that's normal. The shoulder, when you tear that labrum, good night, cousin. Very few guys come back from that. So when you hear shoulder, the minute I heard shoulder and then I think it was elbow and then shoulder for Jofra Archer, I was like, ooh, but I don't know how the injuries translate in cricket.
Yeah. Well, when you're bowling fast like he is, you're putting a lot of force through your front leg. It's like 10 times your body weight. So you get a lot of knee injuries as well. I think Ryan Harris from Australia, who used to play for Australia, wonderful bowler. He had bone on bone at the end of his career. He had no cartilage left in his knees. So he was bowling for Australia in a test match on bone, and he had to retire because he had a major knee injury before the 2015 Ashes, and that finished him off. So you get a lot of back injuries, a lot of stress fractures, a lot of knee injuries as well, ankles and all that. So, yeah, it's a tough job being a fast bowler. And they put themselves through pain, basically. After a game, you're in pain, basically.
This is interesting. First and foremost, I want to get to this right here. I want to ask you about this, Jack. The Joe Root stepping down. But before this, I just read in the comments, and let me know if this is right in the comments, guys. You don't have to pay the players if they're injured, because here you get paid regardless. You sign me, I get injured. It is what it is. You sign me knowing I'm injured, you paying me. So in the IPL, they don't play. If they're injured, they don't get paid. Let me know if that is correct in the auction.
I think that's the case. I think I heard something like that. You have to play some amount of games or something. Maybe people in the chat can enlighten us.
That's got to change. That's got to change. Because here's the thing. I'm performing, but I can go out and bowl and tear my shoulder out for you, and my career is done. All right. Yeah. My potential earnings are done. So I am risking my career, my family, my livelihood every time I step on there. You sign me to a contract, you need to honor that contract. All right. As long as I step on the field, no. Are you serious? That's insane. No. What if there's a career-ending injury? We've seen guys, have really bad injuries. We've seen guys actually lose their lives playing cricket. Like it's a sport. Sports, are very volatile on the body. So that wow, I didn't realize that. I thought you get paid regardless. That is so interesting.
No, I think, I heard similar lines to that from that comment there. That is the case.
I don't
in
like
the IPL.
That. So what do you think about Joe Root stepping down? Do you think it was the right thing to do? Should he have stepped down when Silverwood went out? Because him and Silverwood obviously were both the biggest voices on that team. They were part of that whole contingent that kept off Stuart Broad from, Stuart Broad in Australia during the Ashes, right? Apparently they couldn't use Stuart Broad. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And then they decided, we don't need Jimmy Anderson either. So no Stuart Broad, no Jimmy Anderson in the West Indies. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, to be honest. It was coming. It was. Because when you're in that situation, I feel for Joe Root personally.
Right.
Imagine yourself in his position. His batting was superb when England were poor.
Right.
Especially during the Ashes. And his 2021 was outstanding.
But
his captaincy suits people, Gabe. Like the man behind me there on the poster, Ricky Ponting. Captaincy suited him.
Right.
Players like Steve Waugh, Alan Border, Mark Taylor. These guys were natural leaders. And with Joe Root, it seemed to me he wasn't a natural leader. His captaincy was at times too soft. He wasn't aggressive enough. He didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck and win it.
Right.
But he captained for 5 years, 2017 to now. I think that's a good run. I'm glad that he stood down because you don't want to be sacked. You don't want to be pushed. You want to go off your own terms in cricket in terms of captaincy. It's never a good look when you get sacked.
Right.
And imagine if he captained the whole England summer, which doesn't look good for England. I don't think they'll win a game in their summer. He would have been sacked anyway after that. So I wasn't surprised. It was coming. He already coached the most amount of games for England. Captained the most amount of games for England anyway. The most wins, most losses. So he already went past the natural lifespan of an England captain in their Test cricket history. So he was, getting towards the end, and you could see him after press conferences. He was just a tired, fatigued person. Give it to someone else. So now they've got to really pick a new coach, new director of cricket, and a new captain. They've got 3 positions to fill in their team. But usually when you do a reset like this in cricket, you have to go from the top down. So that's like the cricket board, the ECB, everyone wants them gone and changed. Get people who understand cricket, not business people and all that stuff. That doesn't work in cricket. You need people that understand the game, not business people or salespersons. And then you need to change the coaching staff And then, which they've done, they got rid of Silverwood, who's now coaching Sri Lanka now. So good luck to him.
Right.
I wish him all the best. He's a nice guy, but it didn't work out with England. And then you got to change the captain. So it was about time that Joe Root had to go. Who will be the replacement? They've talked about Stokes. I'm not sure about that because he's an all-rounder. You're going to put a lot of pressure on him.
Right.
And I don't think it will work out. It may repeat to what happened to Ian Botham back in the 80s when he was captain of England. That didn't work out and that ended badly. And he's a similar player to Ben Stokes, an all-rounder, plays the game in the right spirit, aggressive and all that stuff. But it doesn't work out with some players. So you want to invest into the future. I don't think they'll go with Anderson Broad, obviously.
Anderson's on the way out. Stuart Broad.
Yes.
His personality.
You want to plan for the future.
Yeah,
you don't want someone who's like nearly towards the end of their career. And,
right.
If they did Broad and Anderson, it would have been like for 1 year or two max if it was Broad, probably. But, it's going to be interesting because someone said Bairstow. I'm not sure about that.
No way.
Some other people have said other names as well. Stokes, Broad in particular that we've mentioned. So I wasn't surprised by the news at all. It had to come to a point where you had to draw a line in the sand and say, I can't do this anymore.
Jack,
just focus on your batting because he will go down as one of England's great batsmen.
Here's
probably not one of their greatest captains at the end of the day.
Here's my thing, Jack. I criticized Jason Holder when he was captain of the Test team because he stuck with guys way too long. I wanted to drop guys immediately, lost my mind. Even the media would lose it and say, the only reason that, for instance, John Campbell or Shane were even on the team is because, they're friends with him personally or whatever.
Yeah.
You see a lot of movement going on in England, and you don't see that often with the West Indies to a fault, or even your Australia. Think about how long people wanted Burns dropped, and Tim Payne stuck with him through thick and thin for a long time. I thought Uzi should have been up there for a long time. That's a different conversation for a different day. The CFA has been on Uzi for a long time. Like, listen, I get it. That was a personal thing with him and JL, but they stuck with their guys. And I felt that Joe Root, one flaw or weakness was he didn't back his guys. You know what I mean? He didn't seem like the locker room guy that your players want to go and play for you. They want to go and die on that hill for you. And, when you got Stuart Broad in the media during the Ashes, I remember saying, listen, the bowling wasn't a problem. I was like, oh, wow. You just threw your captain.
We're getting bowled out for 140 odd.
You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked that came out of his mouth, but it just
he's true. Yeah, that's right.
Where the room was. So I don't think he commanded the respect of the troops, so to speak. And it's possibly because he doesn't back guys. Because again, you got the Burns, the Don Sibley situation. Who else has been in that rotating opening partnership up there? It was Burns, Sibley,
Crawley's been tried.
Yeah, Zach Crawley, and guys get dropped, and then
Hamid.
I mean, it's been a nightmare, and even with the bowlers, you know what I'm saying? You've got legends that can't get on there. I remember thinking to myself, what? The very first game after COVID lockdown, Stuart Broad doesn't play, and I'm like, everybody's like, what's going on? They're like, oh, resting him from what? They've been in lockdown and quarantine with paper mask on for the last 3 months. What are you talking about? Resting him. They lose that first match against the West Indies in England. Very next match after that, Stuart Broad comes in, gets himself a 5-wicket haul. You know what I mean? So you can just tell that for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just his lack of faith in his guys or personalities or whatever, but he just did not back the right guys that needed to be in there. And people say Silverwood, but you're the captain. If I go and tell you, listen, no, this is our guy, this is our best guy, we need him in there. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? You're sending me out there to war without my best guys. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, you're spot on there. He didn't back Jack Leach at all, for example, in the Ashes. His captaincy, he just wasn't suited to be captain. As I go back to what I said earlier, some players are suited to be captains, others aren't. So you're a great player in the team. Oh, let's make him captain because he's our great player. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a good captain. And that's what happened with Joe Root throughout his 5 years as captain. I feel for him, but hopefully now he can focus on his batting and score runs for England in this English summer coming up, because they're going to need him, because it doesn't look good if you're reading the tea leaves. The tea leaves say something different. It's all bad for England.
We just saw a 2-run over in the death. Are you kidding me? A 2-run over in the death with Nitish Rana and Andre Russell both on. Wow. I don't know what to say. Wow. Malik. Wow. What an over. And for all that can be said, there's been a couple games that have been out of control with the scores, but for the most part, the bowling's been relatively good in the IPL. And a lot of it, I think, is because of these green tops. What do you guys think? I mean, I like that these pitches are more conducive to take wickets, and it's not just the spinners that are able to dominate, even though Chahal, I still think, leads the IPL in wickets. But I mean, look at the green top. Look at the green top. These pacers are feasting, man.
Yeah, and the reason they're doing that, Gabe, is because they're playing a lot of games at the same venue over this IPL in Mumbai. So that's why they have to keep the pitches fresh and have more grass on them. Because if you start, they get tired towards the end and then spin, they get a bit difficult. So it's not a bad thing in T20 cricket. It's a batsman's game at the end of the day, cricket, and bowlers need every help they can get. So I don't mind it. Being a bowler myself, I wouldn't mind having a bowl on that. Not very fast though, but gentle mediums I bowl. So, but it gets the job done. I get 2 wickets. So.
Well, it's funny. I'm looking at this. I just looked it up right now. Chahal is number 1 with 12 wickets. So there you go. Spinner taking the most amount of wickets. Then you got Umesh Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav, and Hasaranga, all with 10 wickets apiece. And then you got Loki Ferguson, Natharajan, the Yorker specialist. So you still got, your spinner up at the top, but you do see that these pitches are helping pacers, which is a good thing, man. I mean, dude.
Yeah, it is. That is expected that spinners will take wickets in T20 cricket, because they always do. So if your fast man can get a few wickets as well, that helps. So yeah, it's good to see in this IPL. Hopefully it can continue.
Now, Jack, let me ask you, Aaron Finch, is he done? Is it time to hang it up, bro? I can't anymore. And I know
Finchy, yeah.
You got to understand, from the time Nick and I have watched, it's kind of like the Hardik Pandya thing. From the time we started watching cricket, our very first introduction to Aaron Finch was Aaron Finch getting dropped on the show, The Test, because of how bad he was. I don't know if you remember that, because that was my first introduction to Australian cricket, and I fell in love with the team. I fell in love with Uzi. But Aaron Finch was on the Test squad and got dropped because of how bad he was. And, JL was like, well, he's got a lot of, he captains the T20 side, and that way he can focus on the T20 or whatever. But it was because he was bad. It was because he was just bad. And I mean, I don't think, unlike David Warner, who has recovered and is back to form, Finch has never recovered, man. Is he just done? Is he done?
I did speak about it when I did the reviews for the ODI and one-off T20 that Australia played against Pakistan, which you can listen on the podcast if you want to listen to me dribble on about cricket.
Oh, absolutely.
And I offered my thoughts about it when I reviewed the series. Yeah, when I reviewed the series, and I did talk about Aaron Finch, and especially in that ODI series, he was horrible. He made a 20-odd, and then he got out for 2 ducks, both of them LBWs. Wow. And he was falling over. He was off balance. He just didn't look good. But then he got a 50, a half century in the one-off T20 to guide Australia to victory, which was nice. So it was good to see him get his first 50 for a while. He's coming towards the end of his career. No doubt he will be still in the team. A lot of people have questioned his spot as captain, and rightly so when you're not playing well. But the team still back him. Andrew McDonald, who's now the new coach, I don't know if you heard about that, Gabe. He's now the new coach of Australia now.
Okay.
And that was just announced a few days ago. So with Finch, he'll be still in this side for a few more games. He'll probably lead us to the 50-over World Cup in India next year and then call it quits. And then we've got to look
beyond give him that long?
Well, because there's a 50-over there's a T20 World Cup in Australia this year. I don't think it will be wise to change captains now, and I don't think they'll do that. And he will probably lead the side to a 50-over World Cup in India next year.
Right.
That's if everything's aligned and everything goes to plan, and then he retires on his own terms. But he is getting towards the end. Once you get to his age, late 30s, as a batsman, everything starts to go. Your reaction times, you're not quite at what you were before, and that's just a fact of time. Over time, you just get old and, things start to slow down. So for him, I do like Finchy personally. I've seen him go off. He's got 170 odd in a T20 international against Zimbabwe in that tri-series that we played against them in Pakistan in Zimbabwe in 2018. And then he got 156 against England in Southampton in 2013 when he was at his best. He has tapered off a bit now. And obviously, I'm surprised that he played for Kolkata today because I know he was in this IPL for Kolkata. And he got out for 7, didn't he? So
he got out for 7 on 5 balls. And I mean, he just looks like he gets beat by pace. He gets. I could see if it was like a spinner that got him, but he gets beat by pace, and like you said, your reaction time goes the older you get. All right. That was where Nick and I talked about Dhoni, for instance. Dhoni, as great as he is, still ain't the same Dhoni. Sometimes you see him behind the wickets and you're like, man, he's still amazing. But
it takes the motor a bit longer for Dhoni now to get it cranking and going.
Father time is undefeated, all right? Yeah. We all, and I think that between his age and his bad form, it might behoove, at least for me. And that's the end of the over, 17th over, 138. Russell with the massive 6 there in the over, trying to, will this team to not a win, but a respectable score, and see if they can get up to 150, 160. They have a shot. They got 3 overs to do it. But my point was, Jack, I mean, why not make the change now? All right. The minute that we saw JL go, kind of like England, everything starts changing right from the top down. Once JL went, I think that would have been the perfect time to bring in somebody else to captain Australia's, white ball team. Whether it's a 50 or T20, and whether you give it to one of the young guys or you just make Patty Cummins the captain of all 3 formats. So what? But now that you have him in there, you got to play him, and he's a detriment to the team. He's just a detriment to the team. That's the reality. I don't.
It's sort of like an Owen Morgan, like in the IPL last year. Really, he's only there for his captaincy.
Captaincy, right?
But he's not good with the bat. He's dipping in form. It's the same with Owen Morgan as well.
Right.
I understand your point there, Gabe, and I understand everyone's frustrations. Oh, why don't you just kick him out now and we look to the future? But it is frustrating when selectors and coaches think that. And I think Travis Head could be a candidate to take his spot as opener and could be the next captain because he captained South Australia domestically and he does an okay job. So he could be the future. Pat Cummins won't do it. He'll just do tests. It won't be Steve Smith either. So it's either going to be Travis Head or someone who's going to be a permanent fixture in the ODI and T20 team.
Right. Well, to your point, forward. You don't want a guy that's older in there and, a smudge, not that he's that old, but he's not going to be around for, a decade, right? So you do want a young guy like a Travis Head. And I think that's a absolute perfect, a perfect candidate, and it's interesting for me to think for Australia that you've got other guys like Marnus Loboshank, who's been out of form as well. And I wanted to talk about Loboshank. Dude, do you think he's right? I don't know, man, because of all the injuries and I don't know if he's right, because I remember I was following in the Pakistan match, and what did he go down for? He went down for like 2 runs, and I mean,
he got run out for a duck in the second test, and then he got out for a duck in the last test. The first test he did okay. He got a 90 odd in that very boring test match that everyone said it was just like watching paint dry. And it was, and I had to sit through that because I love cricket, so I watch everything.
Right.
And he got towards the end of the series he wasn't quite at his best. I don't think he's injured. I think it's just that period in a batsman's career where you have one of those dips, you go up and then you go down and then you go back up again. So he's probably in one of those dips. I don't think he's injured. He's fine. He looks good. He's playing county cricket for Glenmorgan in England at the moment. So hopefully he can score runs there, which he does always. So, yeah, he's looking good. I don't think there's anything to worry about, Gabe. I think he's okay. I think he's going to score some runs in Sri Lanka. And then hopefully for the home summer here in Australia, he scores some runs against your West Indies, who are coming out in this Australian summer coming up, and then South Africa. So, yeah.
All right. And, it looks like Nitish Rana out, caught by Nicholas Puran. I didn't think at first, but yep. Second ball of the over, and Natharajan with a 3-wicket haul, and he's absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. I mean, this is just brutal. He's destroyed KKR, and it's not necessarily, it's you got to look at the wickets they take. All right, Venkatesh Iyer, Sunil Narayan, I got him on a ball basically, back to back and belly to belly. And now Nitish Rana, who was the most settled guy at 54 runs. I mean, if SRH wins this game, it's going to be on the back of their bowlers. And I think that's an interesting conversation to have, because you mentioned earlier, T20 is a batsman's game. I agree.
Yeah.
Which is why, as much as I love cricket, that's why I prefer Test. It's more of a bowler's game from that perspective, because they got longer time to work on you. And it's more balanced, let's say.
Yeah.
20 is definitely skewed towards the hitters. With that being said, let's think about this for a second. SRH is the only team that I was told that has won with a team predominantly built with bowlers. All right. When they won their IPL championship, they had a lot of good bowlers. I forget, maybe that was the year they had Shikhar Dhawan. They had like 1 or 2 big batsmen, but it was all built on their bowling. This year, the darlings of the IPL, Gujarat Titans, who have probably one of the most disgusting bowling, attacks you can think of. I mean, holy cow. They got themselves Loki Ferguson. They got themselves a little
Shami, Rashid Khan.
Yeah, Rashid Khan, the best, spinner in the world. And they've got themselves Hardik Pandya. You know what I'm saying? They've got bowling now. And that team, to me, is weak as far as their batting is concerned. But I feel like they can defend almost any score. So is it maybe starting to even out, do you think? Because right now, Mohammed Shami, thank you for reminding me in the chat, Major Merc, Mohammed Shami, where it's becoming, because of these green tops this year, and now the pace comes into it, you can go ahead and actually win games with a team whose strength is bowling.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, bowlers win your matches. Batsmen set up games with runs, and as a bowling side and as a fielding side, you have to take wickets and your chances. So definitely, I couldn't agree more there, Gabe. So it's definitely an important, bowling's such an important aspect to cricket, obviously, because you have to take wickets and you have to, because each ball's an event in itself. Like every over's a contest, and that's why cricket's so exciting.
I still contend,
because you never know what's going to happen because it's unpredictable.
I tried to explain this to my father-in-law when we're out there in Mexico, and most exciting thing I've ever seen in cricket is a draw, and it was in the Ashes this year. You've got the best in the business in Stuart Broad,
James Anderson,
and Jimmy Anderson batting to save the game against Steve Smith. I mean, you can't make it up. And I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my, as they brought in Smith, and right before that, Smith took, I forgot whose wicket. It might have been like
Jack Leach. I think he took Jack Leach's wicket.
Was it Jack Leach's wicket?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jack Leach, and they ran out of bowlers. I think it was like maybe Cam Green had bowled before that. I forget who it was, but they're like, who are they going to turn to? And they give the ball to Steve Smith. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I don't think that a draw or a tie could be any more exciting in any other sport. It's insane. It's insane.
And that's what most people don't understand about Test cricket. How can you celebrate after 5 days with a draw? You don't win or you don't lose. No one gets that, especially people from America. Obviously, you, Gabe, and Nick do, but people who are learning the game don't get that aspect to cricket. And it's the same with a tie as well. There's only been 2 ties in Test cricket. That was 1960-61, West Indies and Australia in Brisbane. That went down to the wire. And 1986, India versus Australia in Madras, which is known as Chennai now.
Right.
They're the only 2 ties ever in Test cricket. And they were pretty exciting.
Of course. I could see it.
I was jumping up and down in that 4th test of the Ashes. And I was like, oh, come on, Smudge. Can you just spin him, bowl him around these legs like Shane Warne used to do? Because obviously Smith is a leg spinner. And we couldn't bowl the quicks. If we bowled Pat Cummins or Hazelwood or Stark, we would have won that game. But it was just bad light that prevented us from doing that because the light was not good for fast bowling, so you had to bowl spinners.
It was such an interesting dynamic. And I remember watching it, thinking to myself, this may be one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And it was 2 bowlers refusing to concede the win to, a far superior team in Australia. Everyone else gave up their wickets. The thing is, every commentator already had it being a whitewash. And they're like, not on my watch. You know what I mean? Like that, the pride that they showed, I can't. And I'm not even a Jimmy Anderson fan. I'm more of a Stuart Broad fan like that. But those guys showed me something that day. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. Oh, and down goes Patty Cummings.
No.
Patty Cummings.
Patty Cummings tee off in that game that he got the equal fastest 50 in IPL cricket. Gabe. Pat Cummins, that is.
Yeah, I can't. You know what? Did he? I can't remember.
Yeah, he did. He scored the equal fastest 50 with KL Rahul.
Wow. And Patty Cummings can sometimes swing that bat, but the biggest thing about Patty Cummings is that he doesn't get cheated when he swings. You know what I mean? He doesn't get cheated. So, I mean, that was caught by, who ended up catching that?
That was Janssen. Janssen caught that.
The South African. Okay. I was like, who is that? So, I mean, and now you got Umesh Yadav. The best thing he could do is just try to survive and give the strike to Russell. Or did they cross? Does Russell? I know there's the new rule, by the way, in the IPL.
Yeah, they're playing the new rule. So regardless, if it's the last ball of the over, so it's not the last ball of the over. So the new batsman faces regardless if they cross.
Oh, I hate that rule. What do you think about that rule? Because I used to love, like, hey, you know what? Even if you look, I can still get back on strike. All I got to do,
I think in T20 cricket and one-day cricket, it would be more important, not so much in Test cricket. I don't mind it. It's only a minor thing. And for people learning the game, like yourselves, like in America, you can understand that aspect to the game because the laws are very difficult to understand sometimes. So anything to simplify the game, I'm all for that. But yeah, it's a minor thing, so I don't mind it.
And you know what? At first, I did not think about it when they talked about all the rule changes. I was like, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. It makes a difference because you've seen it now where it's the tail end, and now the tail end is stuck on the crease, and 2-3 wickets will fall, especially like the first ball of the over. I still got 5 balls to go, so that I can go ahead and carve up the rest of this tail enders, the guys that don't even know how to hold bats. Boomer up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. Oh, it's a huge rule.
Yeah, but they always do that. Pardon me. The MCC, they always do that every few years to change the laws, just minor things, which they always do. So as an umpire, you have to stay up with the updation to the laws and new playing conditions. And, you know, being an umpire myself, obviously, and I've interviewed an umpire, obviously, Daryl Harper, former ICC Elite International umpire. You've got to be up on your laws. There's 42 of them. You've got to remember all of them, plus playing conditions. So it's a lot.
Oh, and then here's what's brutal. Here's what's brutal. Russell cannot get off strike, right? Because Avish Khan, okay, is it Amin Khan?
Yes, I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the single. So now Russell's on strike for the last ball, and he can't get the single. So now he doesn't get the strike. Like, Boovy, what a good job. And sometimes you help your team win just by doing a little something like that. I may not get this wicket, but I'm not going to let you get off strike because I know you want the next over. And, you know, it's just little things, the little intricacies like that.
I'm not sure about that, Boomer. Am I in your Sinister Six, Gabe, because I revealed that I was an umpire?
Listen, I went down to Mexico. I did the woo-saw thing or whatever. And you know,
bad boys.
I haven't ranted at least not one time this game. So I'm trying to, you know, be a little bit more calmer. I'm going to get one of those, you know, the shirts that were calm or whatever, like one for cricket. Me and Nick are talking about the exact one for cricket. That'll be my shirt I'll watch cricket in so that I can just keep calm and watch cricket without ranting. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm trying here. I'm trying because, man, you know, the blood pressure, bro, the blood pressure.
No, I've been there, Gabe. Many times when Australia hasn't been doing well, throwing things at the TV or yelling, saying, "What did you do that for?" You know, especially that match at Headingley, 2019. Oh, the funny part about that was when JL kicked the bin over and he picked everything up afterwards. Oh, that was hilarious. He kicked the bin over and he just picked everything up again.
Savannah already has one of those shirts. Boom! And there you go. There you go. That's why the rule is so amazing. And that's why it was so important. Very first ball of the over. There goes Khan. And I mean, Russell may not get back on strike. Boovy, in essence, helped get this wicket by not letting Russell off strike. And wow. Satu, I cannot pronounce that name, gets Khan out on the very first ball. And you got 2 wickets left. And Andre Russell stuck on the other end. This rule has been a game changer for the IPL. It really has.
And it's about reading the game and picking up on those little 1%ers where make the difference. You know, match awareness, which is very important. So good stuff here from the Sunrisers. And now Umesh Yadav, he's got to get bat on ball and get Russell at the other end because 158, 2 wickets left. If they can get it up to with Russell on strike, touching nearly mid 160s, nearly 170, I think they got a chance. But
they got a chance if they can push it up to 170.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not over till it's over. You know, there's still 20 more overs after this. And if they can bowl well, take early wickets and the power play attack, then they're in with a good chance. But the Sunrisers are in good form and they've got some momentum now. So they're not going to be pushovers, that's for sure.
Let's see what happens here. Oh my gosh. Dude, it's so frustrating. Russell has not seen a ball now in 6 deliveries or 5 deliveries. And the one ball he did see was a dot ball by Boovy. I mean, that is bowling at its best. Han, Savannah already has that shirt. It's the I'm with stupid shirt. Listen, that auctioneer thing was not my fault. That auctioneer thing.
Yeah.
And Umesh Yadav would have run, gets off the strike, does his job, and said, Russell, you've got 4 balls to do your worst. Unleash the Kraken. Now, what I don't want to see Russell do is take a single. Because don't take a single. What are you doing?
Well, he's got to hit a boundary here or 6. That's what he's got to do now.
It's got to be a boundary or 6. But yeah, you're right. No singles. No. And here, Umesh Yadav did his job, got off strike. So let's see what happens. Crazy about the auction was almost 3 months ago. The past few years gone by really fast. It has. I agree with you, Minatium. And I think that, first of all, the older you get, the quicker time goes by. But I think that since we took that pause, oh, wow, little dot ball there. Russell.
No, that was good from Russell. Yeah, he was never going to take the single there.
Yeah, no, don't take the single. And that's what we talked about. On the couch. Who's next on the couch? I tell you what, man. I don't know. Robbie canceled his on the couch appointment. Apparently, SRH is going to win it all. And let's see. Oh, daddy. There we go. Russell with a big 6. You hold that, cousin.
Yeah, nice shot. Good shot there.
And that's why you wanted him on strike, and that's what we talked about. I hate, and I've seen this happen one too many times in T20 specifically, where a guy will give up the strike when there's a bowler on the other end for a single. What are you doing? What are you doing? Joe Root needs to go on the couch. Interesting.
I think I'm ahead of you, Gabe, but you got to be very happy with this next ball. That's all I can say.
Oh, I hate you're ahead of me.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a couple seconds. And, there it goes again. There goes the 171 we talked about.
That's more like it.
And that's why you don't take a single, people. You trade 1 run for 11, all right? That's an 11-point swing because Umesh Yadav wasn't going to give you back-to-back and belly-to-belly.
And now Kolkata have got to that 171 mark. So that's a really good score because of the last 2 sixes here from Russell. So,
and I mean, when you take it into perspective, when the way they started, losing what?
You can always come back. You know, there's more time than you think in T20 cricket. 120 balls, you can always come back.
Well, you know what? It just depends how good your middle order is, and can you stop the bleeding? And I think that's what Surya Iyer was able to stop the bleeding. He stayed in there for a while, established a partnership with Nitish Rana because, man, those 3 wickets, losing those 3 wickets early was tough. Even it goes for another boundary now, right now, you cross that 170 mark. You know what I mean? You'll take a single now, obviously. You'll take anything now to add to that score. And,
they went for 4.
There's their 4 to fine leg. So 175. 175. Oh, it puts them at 49. Just under 50. Just under 50. Hurts a little bit on my fantasy squad. But Russell the Muscle putting in the work, Daddy. Oh, man. That's a defendable score. On this green top with Patty Cummings and Umesh Yadav, I think that's a defendable score. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You think you got Narayan who's gonna do obviously his little hamburger thing in the middle over, try to squeeze. Yeah. But you also got Varun Chakravarti. I think that's a defendable score, especially because let's be real, you got Sharma, Kane Williamson, and Tripathi, but Nicholas Paran hasn't been consistent. Adam Markin hasn't, put up the big runs yet. And then the forget about it. The tail end, these guys don't even know how to hold a bat. And they got a long tail end. I think their tail end starts at about 7. What do you think with Shatis?
Let me get the scorecard up so I can have a look at the batting order, so I know. Let's see. for the Sunrisers. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, it starts there with him.
So knock a couple guys over early. Who do you give the new ball to? Got to give it to Patty Cummings.
Yeah,
give it to Patty Cummings.
Give it to Patty.
Give him 2 overs in the power play, 2 overs for Mishyadov in the power play. Try to knock over some of these guys. I think once Kane Williamson goes, man, this team's in trouble.
Because he has been the sort of the anchor in this Sunrisers team.
Him and Sharma, Abhishek Sharma, who has come out of nowhere, and they've really carried this team with the scores. I expected more out of Markram, Adam Markram, and maybe they need to bat him up higher in the order, give him more opportunities. But
well, he did well for South Africa in the T20 World Cup last year, Adam Markram. So hopefully he can get into that form that he was last year, because they got to need him.
Interesting. But Russell the Muscle is back. 175. That is a good score. And that's a good thing. You know, even going back to your point, it wasn't Owen. If I venture, and I remember saying this, and people say, Gabe, you're crazy. No captain would drop himself. But I think if Owen Morgan would have dropped himself, KKR could have beat CSK. I honestly believe that. Because they got nothing out of Owen Morgan. Nothing.
Yeah.
It was such a bad season for him. I get it. His captaincy is great. But
yeah, if you're not contributing with the bat or the ball while you're in the team.
He didn't contribute at all. I mean, it's just tough. It's just tough. But Paul, Nick has been waiting for me. We're actually scheduled to go watch it this weekend and try to get the review out. I literally got into town Thursday. Was it Thursday? What's today? Friday? I got into town super late Wednesday night. Yesterday was the first day back. Had to do some errands and stuff, so I couldn't get to it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we're getting ready to review KGF 2. We're excited about that. So just wait for that to come. And oh man. So let's look at the schedule ahead for Australia, since I got you on here. And the upcoming schedule for Australia, it looks like
Sri Lanka.
It's Sri Lanka, right? In June.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're gonna play what? 3 tests.
2 test matches, 5 ODIs, 3 T20s.
I don't like when it's 2 test matches, because I always like to have a definitive winner. So if you split that, then you know what I mean? I prefer to have 3 tests, 3 ODIs, and then 3 T20 matches, so that you can always get a definitive winner, not, split the series as far as test is concerned. But starting June 7th, Australia's tour of Sri Lanka. How do you think the boys are going to do down there? Because
I think we're going to do well. I think, because Sri Lanka, no disrespect to Sri Lanka, they're not the strongest team going around at the moment. And I think what I saw from Pakistan, what I saw in Pakistan, was some really good signs. So hopefully, the last time we went to Sri Lanka, Gabe, we lost 3-0 in 2016.
Right.
Because we couldn't play spin. But this time around, it's a different Sri Lanka team. They don't have the players they had back then. They have new players, and we have new players as well. So I think we can win this series 1-0, 2-0 for the test matches. And the ODIs and T20s, we can probably win them as well. So it's probably going to be a good tour for us. I'm predicting good things. Be interesting to see how we go against their spinners and turning tracks in Sri Lanka, because they turn more than they do in Pakistan. Pakistan turns less with spin. It's more pace that gets you wickets in Pakistan. And we saw in that series, the spinners weren't really effective. But it was good to see Nathan Lyon get a 5-wicket hauler, win Australia the game in the last innings, in the last test, because he's been criticised for that, not winning games in the last innings. So it was good to see that. But in Sri Lanka, the ball will turn a lot more. And then it will turn even more in India when we go to next after Sri Lanka, which will be the next test series that we play. So I think we'll do well. I think, obviously, Usman is going to score some runs. You got Smith, you got Marnus, you got David Warner. You've got our bowling attack coming, Stark, Hazelwood, Lyon. You've got Mitchell Swepson in there as well. You got Scott Boland. So it's looking pretty good for Australia. And I think we'll do well. And we haven't won in Sri Lanka since 2011. We won that series 1-0. That's where Nathan Lyon made his debut. Got 5 wickets on debut. Got rid of Kumar Sangakkara out first ball in Test cricket in that series. So I think we can win. The signs look good from what I saw in Pakistan. And we've got clear plans against the spinners, which I like. A lot of players playing the sweep, reverse sweep. So that's good as well. So I think we can definitely win in Sri Lanka.
I keep hearing this sentiment of Australia didn't do well in Pakistan. Well, the first two test matches were drawn because those pitches were ridiculous. Those pitches were a joke. And then Australia wins the third test match, right? And then they drop 2 of the ODI matches. They win an ODI match, and then they win the only T20 match, which was stupid. I don't understand why I have 1 T20 match. Same thing. Why have just 2 test matches? Give us 3 matches. That way, there's a definitive winner. I hate when the schedule makers, and I'm sure it's because of scheduling and time. Whatever. But I thought that was a victorious tour of Australia. I mean, of Australia and Pakistan. I mean, it's again, Australia, in my opinion, from being as bad as they were last year, really, to then surprisingly winning the T20 World Cup, where no one saw that coming. Let's be honest. No one saw that coming. And now they've just been winning the Ashes. I mean, I think they're in great form. So, I mean, I think going into Sri Lanka, they should do fine. Should be another overall series they win. Again, more confident, obviously, in the test squad than the ODI squad. But, going into India, a little bit different there. And we'll see. I think that would be a bigger challenge.
Absolutely. India's the Mount Everest of cricket, I say. Because it's very hard to reach the summit. They haven't lost a series in India, test series, since 2013. And the last time they lost a test series in India was England in 2012.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And ever since then, they've just won everything. And the last time Australia went to India, we did okay. We lost 2-1. Obviously, India came back and won those test matches, and we won the first one by a big margin. Steve Smith got a good century. Steve O'Keefe got 12 wickets and something like that. So, it's going to be a bigger challenge. But I think we'll win in Sri Lanka. India will be a bigger challenge, but I think we can compete well in India. It's not going to be easy. We haven't won in India since 2004, and that's where we had all the legends. So
that's a difficult thing to accomplish. What do you think about negative pitches? I remember people talking about that first pitch in Pakistan, and Azjad talked about it. They created a pitch to not get a result, basically.
Yeah.
Why is that allowed? Why does the IC allow that? I do not understand, and that is so frustrating.
Yeah. Well, because Pakistan's 11 wasn't their strongest 11, because they were missing a few players like Hassan Ali and Ashraf. So they decided to prepare a pitch that was not going to produce a result because they didn't want to play into Australia's hands. And that's what the PCB chairman, Ramiz Raja, said, because he came out and said, we don't want to produce a pitch that's bouncy or has pace in it because we know we won't do well against the Australian fast bowlers. Every country in world cricket does it, Gabe. They always prepare pitches. Like in India, you have spinning Bunsen burners that turn a lot. In England, you have green seamers. Here in Australia, you have flat pitches that are bouncing, got pace. So everyone does it. It's just home conditions. And the ICC need to set a precedence. And they gave that pitch in the first test a below average rating. I would have given it a poor rating and get it a full maximum of demerit points. Because if you collect a certain amount of demerit points, that ground cannot host international matches for 2 years. The MCG here in Australia, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, during the 2017-18 Ashes series, that fourth test that was played there, that was an absolute road. And that got a poor rating.
You said it was an absolute road.
Yeah, it is an absolute. It's like the road outside my house.
It was that bad.
Rock hard. So it's something, because that puts people off Test cricket. Because I watched that Test match and people were saying it's like watching paint dry. It's nothing. Nothing's happening. You're just sitting there. I was sitting there. I was like, are we going to take a wicket? We took 4 wickets and one of them was a run out. Australia took 4 wickets for the whole Test match. Didn't take a wicket in the second innings. Pakistan were none for 252 in the second innings, and both of the openers made centuries. So you want a pitch that has a contest between bat and ball and has that balance. Home conditions will naturally take over anyway. And I don't like it when cricket boards or teams influence the groundsman and say, you've got to prepare a green pitch or a turning. Let the groundsman prepare his pitch. He should be unbiased. Let him do the conditions, and whatever pitch that's prepared, you go and play on it. But I don't like this negativity because it doesn't do anything for the game, and it's putting people off Test cricket because it was boring.
And I think that that's one thing Test cricket struggles with. So, for instance, a good thing that the IPL and even T20 cricket has done is they look at the laws and say, okay, how can we improve the game? And as much as I hate it, people love run scoring. I love bowling, but people love run scoring. People also like to see wickets taken. Okay, so they look at the game and like this rule here that they've come up with for the IPL, it's such a small nuance, but being able to say, you know what, even if whoever is on strike, even if you cross, once they lose their wicket, it's still got to be the new batter that comes in there, because now you can't protect that new batter, which is usually, especially at the tail end, somebody's going to give up their wicket. It speeds up the game and it produces wickets. So that's a good, you have to do something that's conducive to the game. And I think the ICC needs to come in and say, listen, we're going to control the pitches. All the curators will work for us. You're not going to influence what they do. We will produce wickets that are suitable to play no matter where you're at. Now, to your point, the conditions are what they are. Okay, the ball's going to turn in the subcontinent. Maybe not as much as when you doctor the pitch so that it looks like, a dirt yard, right in front of my house, whatnot. But, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, but I don't understand allowing, and that's not, to your point, not just Pakistan, but Pakistan got crushed for that first pitch against Australia. All I heard was how bad that pitch was.
Yeah.
You knew there wasn't going to be a result. That should not be allowed. And I think the ICC needs to take control of that in order to, because here's the reality. You and I both love tests, but you're a young dude.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in my 40s. It's embarrassing to say that. But when it comes to tests, it's not a young person's game. They don't have those young fans. And if you want the game to survive, you've got to bring in the young people. And if they want to see wickets taken, if they want to see respectable scores in this exciting game, then you have to change the rules or the laws to get that. And I don't understand why they haven't already taken that avenue.
Yeah. But the ICC have a rating system, which they have for all pitches, but they don't uphold countries to those standards or different criteria with ratings of pitches and outfields. And they should have set a precedence and should have gave the first test pitch in Rawalpindi a poor rating, but they didn't. Gave it a below average, which the match referee comes up with that decision. So that was his decision. But I've heard a lot of people say about it, that maybe the ICC should control pitches. They do that for World Cups. So they have control of the pitches in World Cups, but not for bilateral series around the world. So it's something they may look at. They just had a board meeting recently, so I don't think they didn't talk about that. So maybe send them a letter or something, Gabe, and say, you need to talk about this at your next board meeting or something.
That's funny. Renault says, not embarrassing game. My grandpa's 71 and looking great. Don't worry. No, listen, I get it. But again, I think that and they give the new ball to Umesh Yadav, who right away comes in, and man, he is really good with the new ball. Abhishek Sharma's opening up with Kane Williamson. 139 clicks on that, man. Umesh, oof.
Well, he's in my fantasy team, so he's doing pretty well.
Oh, Umesh Yadav. But I just think that you have to, and I hate thinking about it this way, but you have to change the game in order to appease a new generation, because the reality is, that's going to be the fans that cheer for the next 20, 30 years. And
yeah, that's right.
2 runs on that one. Prediction, first over prediction or game prediction? I think KKR can defend the score. I really do. I really do. Now, chasing's been easier, but we'll see. I think that because you've got this green pitch and you've got Patty Cummings and you've got Umesh Yadav, if they can knock over Kane Williamson and Sharma, they just don't have enough to, as you saw, put up a score of 175. Yep. If they lose their openers the way that KKR lost their openers to new ball, they're done.
But these two did well against CSK. And they're just showing some highlights of Sharma's innings, 75 he got against CSK, which was pretty good. So if they can replicate that partnership, then they're a good chance of chasing these runs down, Sunrisers. But as you said, Gabe, if Kolkata can get a few early wickets, then they will put them on the back foot because their batting looks a bit thin. They haven't got the firepower there.
Oh, it's shaky. It's shaky in the middle for sure. Oh, there it goes. Yep, that was 101.15. Did I say the game was over? I probably did when SRH IPL went out. That's it. All right. 101.15. There it goes. Were you around for the 101.15? Stupid Nick.
Yeah, I did catch that.
Nick's the worst. He loves messing with me. Oof, another dot ball there. Umesh Yadav. You know what's sad? Umesh Yadav doesn't have a prayer. I just saw in the chance in the chat. Should Umesh Yadav be considered for the T20 World Cup? He doesn't have a prayer. Okay. No, there's just too many. India is seriously, if you're an Indian player, it has got to be disheartening to know, as good as I am, there's so many guys ahead. It's going to be forever before I get my shot. Look at a guy like Sky. It took Sky till he was, 34 to make his debut. I mean, this is too many guys. I mean, it's good luck. Good luck.
They just sport for choice, India, really, with their talent and their player group pool.
But if the cricket boards came up with a rule and saying you can only play one format, that would be more conducive to A, getting more players in there, and B, getting players healthier, where you're not going to get guys hurt if he's playing just T20 or if he's playing just Test or just ODI. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one format, a player can only play one format, whatever your strongest format is, because A, you give an opportunity for other players to play. B, you're going to keep guys healthier. It's like anything else. It's like a car, okay? The more you drive a car, the more wear and tear there's going to be on the parts. It is what it is. That's just how it goes. And the body is a well-oiled machine as well, just like a car, that will eventually break down. You've got so many bullets in your arm if you're a bowler. In baseball, we call it bullets in your arm. So you have only so many bowls you can bowl if you're a bowler. If you a batsman, you've only got so many innings that you can hit those sixes before your back starts hurting, because that also puts strain on your back. And, if you're a wicketkeeper, my gosh, you've only got so. How did Dhoni keep, and he's still keeping, and what is Dhoni, 40-something years old? Dude, wicketkeeper. there getting beat
squatting
up.
for every ball, basically. You have to have really good.
That's just brutal.
But he seems durable. You know, he's pretty fit.
I mean, have you seen the guy's legs? They're like tree trunks. His legs are like tree trunks, bro. But when you're back there, I mean, and you're a bowler, you've been on the field, you see the most, in my opinion, I would say the most taxing and grueling position has got to be wicket keeping, don't you think?
Yeah, it is, because you're pretty much in the game every ball, basically. Squatting and then, you know, going back up again and then squatting again every ball. So, and then diving as well. And especially your fingers take a pounding as well. You see most wicketkeepers' fingers, they're all crooked and pointing in different directions. It looks pretty ugly. So, yeah, it is a tough place, but it's such an important role, really. You've got to have a good keeper behind the stumps. Take those catches, those edges, because at the end of the day, catches win matches, as we all know. It's the old saying that we say in cricket. So.
Here, Gabe, the downfall, and I understand for playing one format, you won't get the best players. Your best players are your best players. I get that. Trust me. But is there it goes. There it goes. Oh, daddy. Patty Cummings. Get yum. Delicioso. Eating those wickets. Abhishek Sharma gone. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Oh, Patty Cummings. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Oh,
absolutely.
Man. Listen. Tell all those. This is what a pitch should look like. I hate when pitches deteriorate so badly from the first innings to the second innings, especially in T20. That's not fair. This pitch is really held up nicely, and I think this needs to be the standard. But Patty Cummings first over gets Abhishek Sharma, and I'm telling you right now, I may bowl Patty Cummings out in the power play. Him and Umesh Yadav just try to take all the wickets right now. Yum.
Yeah, absolutely. Got it. You know, you take 2 or 3 or 4 wickets in the power play. Usually the side usually loses. It's just the stats in T20 cricket, and you're well on top. So they got to attack here, Kolkata. And obviously Williamson hasn't gotten off the mark yet. He hasn't even faced a ball yet. So no. So 2 new batsmen in. Sunrisers need a partnership here. Kolkata, just keep it simple with the ball. That's all you need to do. Don't overcomplicate it. Just run up and bowl your best ball this ball.
Oh, Patty Cummings. I think Patty Cummings is underrated as an all-rounder in T20. You know what? I've heard this argument because he has put up some 50s. I mean, he had the second quickest 50, was it, or something we talked about earlier?
The equal fastest 50 with KL Rahul in the IPL history.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Because he can swing the bat, but I don't consider him a legit all-rounder, do you?
More of a bowling all-rounder, I would say. But he is handy with the bat. I'm not surprised because when he was injured, he worked on his batting a lot in his early years. When he was injured, when he just played for Australia and then he got those injuries, he really worked on his batting because he can only bat. He couldn't bowl. So I'm not surprised that he's batting the way he is. But I would say he's more of a bowler first than a batsman second. At the end of the day, that's how I will judge Cummins as more of a bowling all-rounder. I
mean, because I'll give you an example. For me, Cameron Green is an all-rounder, legit all-rounder for Australia. But Patty Cummings can help you. But if it were, going into the last innings, whether it's T20 or whether it's Test, whatever, I could say, I trust Cameron Green to get me a 40 or 50 if I need him to. I trust him to bat out the day. I don't trust Patty Cummings to do that. You know what I mean? That's how come I don't consider. For you to be an all-rounder, you've got to be actually able to do both. You know what I mean? Not sometimes get that big score because he's a strong guy. Jofra Archer's another guy. I've seen him hit literally in an over 30, get 24, 30 runs. But can you count on that all the time? No.
No, that's right.
138. 138 on it. This is, Bro, between Umesh Yadav and Patty Cummings, these guys are practically at 140 kilometers an hour. I mean, 138, 139. That's not fair. You're facing that early. That's not fair.
I wouldn't like to be facing Pat Cummins. No way.
And Kane Williamson does nice.
Yep. He plays that shot a lot, that sort of glide down to third man. He always plays it with soft hands. So that's why I didn't carry. He always plays that shot, Williamson, down to third man in that region. So
nice shot. That wasn't an easy ball to handle either.
No. But he just got it past those two fielders, and he got 4 runs. So much needed boundary for him. He's off the mark. So
much needed boundary. Let's update the score. Let me ask you a question.
Yep, far away, go.
Resident Australian expert here.
I wouldn't say that. But...
And I've heard this argument before. Is he too nice? And what I mean by that is, with his pace, guys that have this kind of pace are usually nasty. All right? I can think of a good example. Boomerang. Boomerang will get you on crease and beat you up. What he did to Jimmy Anderson should have been it should have been considered assault, okay?
Yeah.
Like, Boomerang, easy. Jimmy's a legend. And I mean, you see other guys that are just nasty as well. Jofra Archer, Steve Smith, right? Hadn't been the same after Jofra Archer planted one in his head. Patty Cummings doesn't have that kind of mean streak in him where he's looking to beat up batsmen. And he's got the pace. Do you think, I don't know. What's your response? I'm just curious.
Well, he is a nice guy after all, Pat Cummins. He wouldn't hurt a fly. But when he's bowling, he's got that aggressiveness in him. I've seen it a few times where he's.
Do you think he needs to do more then?
Yeah, everyone's different as a bowler when you're aggressive. There's been many aggressive bowlers in the history of cricket. Excuse me, like your West Indies Gabe, the Four Horsemen. They were pretty aggressive in their day.
Loving
and
it.
They were bouncing batsmen, because back in those days, you didn't have restrictions on bounces, so you can just bowl as many bounces as you want. And everyone was just backing away and just getting out on purpose because you didn't want to face Michael Holding or an Andy Roberts or Malcolm Marshall or Joel Gardner. I wouldn't like to face them. Or a Jeff Thompson from Australia or Dennis Lilly from Australia, because they were just quick. Yeah, going back to Pat Cummins.
He's a bouncer basically, right? And I rarely see him use that bouncer where he's just literally, I'm gonna dig this right into your, put it over your head.
He does it sometimes when he's bowling, but he doesn't do it all the time. He lets his other pace and his greatest strength is just bowling that good length every ball. That's his greatest strength. And then if he wants to chuck in the bouncer, he can. Because he can bowl a pretty good bouncer because he's got the pace. So it's just how his persona, I think, that probably sees him as a nice guy rather than a nasty guy. But everyone's different when they're bowling. They're all different animals. Even when I bowl, I'm a bit aggressive. Well, not that aggressive, but
but as a bowler, right? Jack, don't you look, that's I don't care where you're standing, that's my pitch, okay? You're just borrowing my crease temporarily. So I'm going to bowl what I want to bowl, and you just be thankful I don't knock your head off. I mean, that would be my mentality in baseball. That's pitcher's mentality. And especially when you throw that hard, you're like, I hope this guy doesn't get pissed off and tries to, you know what I mean? And he really has that in him. I don't see it that often come out of him, where other guys are absolutely nasty, and you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to get beat up out there.
As a bowler, you want to try and knock the batsman. You don't want to hurt him, obviously. I think Jeff Thompson once said, I like to see blood on the pitch. That's what he said. And I think everyone in the chat would know that. He did say that. I like to see blood on the pitch. And he was pretty quick, Tomo. I'm pretty sure you reacted to to him bowling.
I did. I remember watching that.
He was the quickest. Anyone who played in that time, or the late Rod Marsh, obviously former Australian wicketkeeper who passed away recently, he said Tomo was quick. Because he was a keeper, obviously Rod Marsh, and the ball just slapping into his gloves, rock hard. He's saying, "God, that hurts."
But
I love it. And sometimes with Tomo, it would usually hit the side screen if it bounced over the batsman.
Dude,
Back in the day.
I've never liked him as a batsman. I really haven't. And Kane Williamson just showed me right now back-to-back balls at 140 kilometers, and he doesn't do a lot with it, but he's able to get the ball on it, guide it, and that's how he beat up my West Indies for 200 something. I remember saying he's garbage, right? And he's garbage. Kane Williamson, you suck. Then IPL was over. It was New Zealand versus my West Indies, and somebody must have sent him a memo because he disrespected my West Indies. And it's the same thing. He doesn't go for these big boundaries, which is why to me he's not a middle order batsman. He should really open most of the time because it takes him a while to get settled in. But what he does do is handle pace so well, and he's able to just get the bat on the ball. I rarely see him get beat by straight up pace. It's either he'll hit it to somebody, but when have you ever seen him bowled out on just pure pace? 140.
Not too many times.
Handle it like nothing.
Yeah, that's his greatest strength. He's an accumulator. He's not a power hitter. He's an accumulator. He can hit the big shots. He can hit a big six when he wants to, but he's mostly an accumulator. So he'll just do the anchor role here, and let the other batsman at the other end take the game on, because he's got to stay in here and really guide. What he does for New Zealand, he does the same thing here with the Sunrisers. Be that anchor. That's why they call him Captain Kane, because he steers the ship. Because he steers the ship. I remember
watching it, and it was everybody. The Night Watchman, Gabriel, and they're coming at him. Because, West Indies still has some guys that have pace, and he's just like wearing them out. Even in Test, is worse because he'll defend. Oh, I'll take a single here. Defend. Oh gosh, it drives me crazy. I hate King Williamson. With a passion, bro. Oh man.
Of course you will, Gabe, after your West Indies got a beating.
Bro, he wore them out. They could not. Oh my gosh.
But that's Test cricket. That's what you have to do as a batsman. You have to grind the bowlers down to dust. And he did that well. And that's what you got to do as a batsman in Test cricket more so.
See, look at that there by Tripathi, right? He gets a 4 on it, but that's so close to, getting an edge. And I mean, he keep attacking like that, and you're going to give up your wicket. And I think that's why he's not an opener. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Opening is just a skill that most of these guys just don't have, man.
You either be an opener from when you're very young, or probably he's just chucked in there as an opener for this season. Maybe he hasn't opened that much before. It's definitely a skill. It's not easy being an opener, but it's usually the best place to bat because you're facing, the first few balls of the innings. So. Yeah, and you mentioned that earlier. Why are openers so terrible or something like that? And I said, well, I don't know the answer to that, but you either have the skills or you don't to be an opener, basically. And in T20 cricket, openers just have a rush of blood and think with 2 men outside the circle in the power play, I'm just going to swing hard. You don't need to do that. You just need to play good cricket shots and you'll get runs. But some openers don't do that, and they give their wicket away, which I don't like. Sort of reckless cricket.
And if you're gonna play that way, then you got to be playing in the middle orders. You got to be down in the order. You cannot open up. And 5. How is that 5 wide?
Because the wide's 1 run and the boundary's 4, so that's 5.
4, yeah. So here's the thing, right? With with Tripathi, right after the 4, he gets an inside edge. He gets lucky that it doesn't get caught, right? But he's got exactly what he wanted, inside edge on that one. It just so happens it didn't, take his, and that's where I'm like, you have to be disciplined, and I just don't see these openers. Very few of these guys are just disciplined anymore.
Yeah, that's right. You need. As I said, in T20 cricket, you just need to play good cricket shots, not be reckless. Take calculated risks, but don't just get out first ball swinging big, like big slog sweep or something like that. Just be smart about it. And sometimes they're not. And that's the way it goes in T20 cricket. You just play good cricket shots, you get runs. And that's what you need to do. But as you said, discipline, it's such a big thing in cricket. You need a lot of discipline as a batsman and a bowler.
Guys, this is the first bit of cricket, live cricket, I've actually watched in over a week. Because again, for some reason, ESPN Plus did not work when I was in Mexico. Whenever you click on the stream, I guess because the VPN knows you're in Mexico, I was getting some, football teams I never heard of. I'm like, whoa, what's this? Where's my cricket? What is this? Oh, it was tough.
Yeah.
Tough. But no, Baraf, I did not see it, my man. I need to, though.
Gabe, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind. Did you hear about Ashwin retiring out?
No.
The other day against the Rajasthan Royals?
Ashwin retiring out. Oh, wait, no.
Against the Lucknow Super Giants. He was batting with Hetmeyer, and then he retired out when he was on 20-odd. Did you hear about that?
No, I missed that. What happened?
So basically, he was in there because the Rajasthan Royals lost a few wickets and needed to rebuild a partnership, obviously. So Hetmeyer was going off. He made a good 50, and then Ashwin batted with him. And basically, he was just trying to support him and not lose any more wickets, stem the flow of wickets. And then he retired out, which you can do in cricket. So you can just walk off the field and retire out. You know how you can retire hurt in cricket?
Yeah.
Which is the common one, and you can come back. When you retire out, that's it. You can't come back because you're out. That's a wicket. And he did that.
That is... I hate him.
And I'm surprised that no one thought about it before.
I love him. I love him and I hate him. I love him and I hate him. Ashwin, to me, and I also love him because he gets it, right? He is on social media, so he's a presence, and he understands the power of social media. I love watching his channel. Guy has some strong opinions. He says stuff. Especially, I can say what I want. All right, I'm a clown. No, you actually play for India. You play for these teams. So when he criticizes his own side, I'm like, wow. But I that's so smart, and you're gonna see more guys do that. And it's almost like the job of the night watchman, right? I'm not here to score a lot of runs. I'm here to make sure that at the end of this, the days and the last few overs, we don't lose a wicket. So I'm just gonna be here, and it's almost like a night watchman in a T20 game. Let this guy get settled in. Okay, he's settled in. I'll retire out, whatever. Especially, think about how many times there's a all-rounder or just an average guy in there in the death, and KKR specifically. Andre Russell will only face 2 or 3 overs. No, Andre Russell's got to be in there as soon as the death. I don't care who's on strike. Retire out. Yeah. Retire out, and that's got to happen. That is so smart. I agree, Renell. That is so smart, and more teams need to do it. You know what I mean?
People criticized him for it and saying, because he's done the mad catting thing before. But I don't have any problems with it. It's in the laws. You can do that, and no one thought about it.
Oh, I love it. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
You know what he is? He plays to win the game, and he's smart about how he plays the game. There was a player here's a better question for you, Jack. Did you know that was a rule as an umpire and as a player? Did you know that was a rule that you could do? And how many players would you venture to guess didn't even know they could do that? I guarantee you there were many players in the IPL that didn't even realize, I could just retire myself out. Really? I guarantee you.
Yes, you're right about that, Gabe. Because most players don't read the laws. They don't know all the laws. They read some of them.
Right.
But I think they would know that one as well, because obviously it's the same with hurt. They would have known that you can retire out. So I knew that already because it's in the law book.
Right.
But some players may know it. Some players don't even know the laws fully. They know some basic laws, like if you bowl a no ball, it's not a wicket. All those basic stuff.
Right.
But they don't know the inner workings of the laws, like retiring out, and you can walk off. And
dude, Ash was a beast. I love this comment. Boomer says he eats ICC rule book for breakfast.
I think someone said he should be on the ICC cricket committee or something, because his innovations would be good for the game, something like that.
Absolutely. We need
when he retires, that is.
We need some forward thinking that way. And again, man, that was just such a smart thing to do. I remember thinking to myself so many times last year, I didn't know the rule. I've not read 42 rules or laws, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I was so upset. And I'm like, how does Andre Russell? I kept saying to myself, Andre Russell needs to bat higher in the order because there's no way he should only be facing 3 overs. There's no way he should be. Wait a minute. You telling me that at any point, you know, when the chase is on, we could, and it's getting to the death, you can just retire out and Andre Russell would have been able to come in earlier? KKR, why didn't you do that so many times? You know what I mean? Like, that's, wow, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, he sort of put it to the comparison with soccer or football, whatever you call it around the world, like substitutions, like you can sub someone out. So I think T20 cricket you may see that more, but I don't think you'll see it every now and again. I think you'll see it every now and again, like in that situation with Ashwin. You know, towards the end, we need a power hitter or something because he's not known for his power hitting. Yeah. And they brought in someone else who actually did the job and actually teed off and got some sixes and they got up to a score, but and they were able to win the game, I think. So, yeah, I don't know why people criticize it. It's because of his history and,
for sure.
That's why.
It's just like, I got no problem with the man catting. It's a rule. Okay?
It's in the laws.
It's in the laws.
It's just moved on to run out now.
I have a bigger problem with you leaving the crease early as a batsman. You're trying to steal a run there. No. Okay? Because that affects the run out. Think about how just taking that extra. How many times haven't we seen a guy barely make it by an inch, get that bat down, and he's not run out? What if you're not leaving the crease early? So you're not playing by the law, the spirit of the law. You're being disingenuous with your play. You should be docked points for fair play for leaving the crease early, not me for man-catting. What, are you serious right now? But again, I side with the bowlers. You know, in baseball, there's the same things where batsmen will do things to get an extra edge or whatnot. And why? Why do you get that extra edge? Absolutely not.
Yeah. But what staggers me is that no one ever thought about it until now. And Rajasthan Royals thought, we're just going to retire out and we send someone else in, Ashwin. And it was all for the team. And in the end, they won. So I say that's good innovation. And I'm just surprised that no one thought about it, really. And how many years of T20 cricket that's been going on. So,
and why? Andre Russell comes in, puts himself in, and immediately, daddy, there it goes. There it goes. Russell to Williamson bowled out. I was just thinking to myself, Andre Russell comes and puts himself in. Why keep Patty Cummins and Umesh up there with their 140 pace? But he's like, Gabe, shut your mouth. I know what I'm doing. Bye, Kane Williamson. Russell comes in and gets Kane Williamson, bowls him out. Wow. I mean, we just talked about we don't see him get bowled out.
No.
What happened here?
Yeah, well,
that ball was not 140. That ball was not 141, which is what Umesh has been doing and what Patty Cummins. How did he get bowled out on that?
I don't know. I have to look at the replay, but maybe he got an inside edge on it, I think. Maybe he chopped it onto the stumps. That could have been a possibility. Or just beaten the bat fully and just clean bowled him. You just got to say, you got me there, so I might as well walk off as a batsman. But it'd be interesting to see on the replay if he did get a bit of an edge on that. I won't be surprised if he did. It could be a chop on or something like that. So. But that's a big wicket.
I was incorrect. I did not realize Russell had that kind of pace. I'm looking at it right now. 139.
Really?
Russell bowls at 139? Russell,
the amount of injuries he's had?
I'm shocked right now. I didn't think Russell, because the ball just doesn't look like it jumps off his hand like it does Patty Cummins. You can tell there's pace coming. I mean, 139. Wow. And it stayed low. And yeah, he deflects it onto the sticks. I mean, it was like a nice little edge, but I'm like, really? Wow.
Well, that's good. That's good to see for the West Indies.
139. Listen, so and I asked this question, Jack, because the West Indies did not have a death bowler, and that was my biggest frustration. I'm like, guys, who's our best death bowler? I remember before I got down to my Wusa days, and you see Wusa, and my Zen like mode I'm in today, and the rest of the IPL. I don't know how long that's gonna last for. I said, guys, who's our best death bowler? And every single West Indies fan, without question, Andre Russell. So why doesn't he play for the West Indies? Listen, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? The West Indies board should buy him whatever he needs, pay him under the table. We need this guy. Come on. But, I mean, it's just frustrating. I get it. He gets hurt a lot, but he's bowling basically at 140. Holy cow. Don Antonio says he used to bowl at 140 when he was younger. Look at that ball, my man. That was 139.5. That is 140. Holy cow. And Russell with a big 6 right there. Tripathi off of Russell.
Yeah. Good shot there. Yeah. Be disappointed that ball went for 6. You want to finish the over
over well. But, I mean, he still got the biggest wicket there, and Kane Williamson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nobody else on this team. I mean, Paranka isn't going to – they're still in the power play right now. The Paran, Markram, these guys aren't going to last 15 or 14 overs. No way. Renell says, nope, Gabe, you're wrong. Not every West Indians fan said Andre Russell. Many said Andre Russell. Okay, you're right. Not everyone, but for the most part, everybody was Andre Russell. Because that's what the West Indies are missing. They need that death bowler, that guy that's going to go in there. You know, I like some of the new guys they got. I like Odin Smith. Shannon Gabriel, I mean, age, injuries. What else can I say? It's what it is. It catches up to everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about this. What do you think about this? Markham above Paran. I think they realize that Markham has a better chance of staying on strike for 10 overs. Paran just doesn't. Not with his style of play. He's too aggressive.
And Aidan Markram's a top order batsman anyway for South Africa. So I can see why they batted him now instead of Paran. Which is probably the good decision here from the management. But they need a partnership here, Sunrisers. Just need to get it together here, get a partnership, start to rebuild.
Boomer.
And for the Knight Riders, more wickets. Simple as that. You get wickets, you slow the run rate down, and you put pressure on the opposition. And that's what they need to do.
No, you're right about that. And this is sad if this is true. Said Gabe, when Andre Russell was injured, KKR was the one who took him to the United States and treated him at their expense at the best hospitals when the West Indies just dumped him. Where do you think his loyalties lie? And that's even, Jack, maybe you can help me out with this. And I am biased. I am completely biased. I will tell you 100%. But that's because we have many athletes in my family, pro, collegiate athletes, and you have no idea the injuries that happen. My boy's finishing high school this year. He's going to go play college football. He could play 4 years or he could play 4 games. You're putting your career on the line every time you step on the field. You should always get paid and you should be taken care of. Because ultimately, you sacrifice, people don't understand, you sacrifice time, not to forget about your body, but you know how much time these guys spend away from their families, how much time these guys spend, and not everyone's going to get those multi-million-dollar contracts. You know that better than anyone. You're a player yourself. You haven't played for Australia. You haven't played big bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So to me, you sign me, I get injured, I'm your responsibility because I'm out here putting my career, my livelihood, my family's livelihood on the line for your franchise. So, and I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I think it was Dwayne Bravo or somebody said that he got his kit like in a plastic trash bag. You know what I mean? When he finally got West Indies cap and his jersey, and I'm like, what? Come on, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. So, you know, it's sad because don't tell me they're not making money. It's just that the money's not going to the right places. All right,
No,
going to people that, to your point, businessmen that don't step on the field and don't do what they have nothing to do with the game, other than that they have their monies or their hands in the cookie jars.
Yeah, that's right. And it's something that needs to be addressed by the ICC because I had a look at the figures, just out of curiosity, with the revenue sharing model, and it's not a pretty sight, to be honest.
No,
because Australia, India, England, big three, getting most of the revenue, and everyone else is not getting much, especially the lower ranked countries like Sri Lanka, West Indies. And you want them to do well, but they're not going to do well if you don't invest money and update their facilities or programs or high performance sort of system, because they're not going to get better. You know, and everyone says, oh, we need everyone to be better. Well, they're not getting better because they're not getting the money and they're not getting the resources at the end of the day. And it's just so frustrating. And the ICC remind me of a family who are dysfunctional and they all care about themselves. That's what they do. They don't even get anything done. You're the governing body.
Thank you for the chat there. Thank you for the super chat there. And yes, I did see Malik at 154 kilometers. That's why I'm saying that Malik has got pace, man. I think the only problem with Malik is that, and I was listening to Harsha Bogdan, and they were talking about Umar Malik's. It's a lot of pace. He hasn't developed the slower ball or the cutters or anything like that, but he needs to. But early on, you give him that new ball, he's gonna do damage. And I really like Malik as well. I normally have him on my fantasy squad. I don't think I put him in there today though.
Yeah.
Where is? Ooh, here's a good little thing to talk about here. Sri Lanka is going through huge financial and national crisis. And I remember, help me out. Where did the Olympics go a couple years ago? And people were like, we don't have the money. It's going to crush us. And when we're talking about sports being played, I mean, it costs a lot to host an Olympics, to get into venues and get things in there. And obviously in cricket as well, there was the game or the tour that, was it Australia canceled the tour of South Africa. Yeah. So much money put into it or whatnot. And do you think that the ICC has to be responsible for those things and making sure that those nations, when they do, if there's a tour canceled, whatever, you know that those pitches have been prepared, you know those stadiums have been prepared, you know a lot went into that. You still got to make it right, because to your point, it's about revenue. And a place like Sri Lanka, South Africa, even a developing associate nation like USA, for instance, they can't afford to put that kind of money into it and then not have the game go off, because it's bad for business. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is. I remember with the South Africa tour, I did a video on that. I did an episode on that at the time. And South Africa weren't happy. They lodged a formal complaint to the ICC, to Australia, because it is money. Because basically, when you're touring cricket, it works differently. I think when I interviewed Jared Kimber,
Here goes Robbie. Is this Robbie or Nick?
No.
Robbie or Nick?
What's wrong with you? I am Nick. Robbie is some other goofball. He looks nothing like me. But because of Robbie, I'm rooting for some SRH and my man Tripathi with another 6. Oh, I love it so much. What's up, Jack?
talking about.
Hello, Nick. Yourself?
Doing fantastic.
That's
fantastic.
Welcome to the stream, brother. But we're just talking about. It's Robbie. Look, guys, it's Nick, not Robbie. But Jack was just talking about the video he did about the canceling of the match in South Africa. And right now, dude, it costs money to get these tours together. We talked about
Go.
Oh,
bam!
Another 6. What is going on?
And guess who's got Chapati on his squad, baby?
He might be on my fantasy team, but I don't care. I need SRH to lose today.
I don't care.
But
what do you? I'm not sure you guys are talking about. Is there a recent thing that was canceled in South Africa I'm not aware of?
No, someone mentioned about Sri Lanka going through financial and national crisis at the moment,
and Australia is there currently to play their
test series, ODIs, and T20s, and
money's getting put into it. But a lot of people are like, well, we're putting money into sports or whatever. It's just like when the Olympics comes into town, but there's all this, financial destitute going on in the country, and it gets a lot of criticism about it. But what are you going to just do? Stop sports? If you do, then they may not come back.
That's tough. That's tough where you've got to – I mean, that's got to be embarrassing, too, for the country themselves where they've got to be so real about the financial issues that they've got to potentially cancel sports and cancel this or that. That is extremely difficult because you're going to I'm assuming you're going to depend on revenue from, your citizens in the matches you go to. But if they can't afford it because it's all bad everywhere, that's a tough spot right there. I feel bad for all the fans of Sri Lanka and the citizens of Sri Lanka as well. They're living there. That's tough. What's up, Suman? What's up, everyone? Thank you so much. Barath, appreciate that. Thanks for not saying Happy Good Friday to Larry. He doesn't deserve it. What's up, Renell? What's up, everyone? Remember, my name is Nick from Born Reviews from Cricket for Americans.
We want to make sure it wasn't Robbie.
No, Robbie's losing his mind somewhere. He was in the closet a few minutes ago, like in a dark corner. But I think he's finally starting to peer out a little bit once he hears these 6s from Chapati going off. So he might be doing all right. We'll see. And
I was just saying, Nick, that once you lose Kane Williamson and you lose the opening partnership of Abhishek Sharma, you're done. And Chapati's like, hold my coffee, Gabe. Like, are you serious right now?
But see, Kane Williamson, he's an interesting guy in the IPL T20. Okay, I'm not sure how he is internationally. I know he's all class everywhere, but he always takes forever to get going. If he gets going, he's got to see at least 10, 15 balls before he's even interested, right? Before he even thinks about swinging that bat. And so they made an interesting point on this telecast. They were saying maybe he comes in as natural 3 and not as an opener where he's eating those balls up in the power play. And then he can come in the middle overs where things slows down. He can see more balls. So my point is it's not the worst thing for Williamson to go down, right? You don't want that to happen, but it's not the worst thing because they have some other guys. KKR, they were in serious trouble. They were 38 for 3 out of the power play. Luckily for them, Dre Russ, Mr. Vice Captain for Gabe over there, went off, and that's why you bring him in at number 35 or whatever he comes in at. But man alive, he scored some runs.
Oh, Nick, so they just told me about this the other day. Obviously, I was out of country, and I didn't know about this, but I think Jack was talking about it, about your boy Ashwin, Mr. Controversy himself. Honestly, Ashwin is Mr. Steal Your Girl himself, bro. He's just he loves the attention.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, bro, he loves the attention. Oh my gosh.
He's not gonna steal your girl.
He retired himself. I gotta love it, bro. The dude that retired himself.
What was the purpose for that? Why did he do that?
Because it was towards the end of the innings and they wanted a power hitter to come in next.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he retired out. It was a team decision. And he said, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
He's a genius.
And they
listen, he's like Brock Lesnar, okay? Brock Lesnar ended the streak of The Undertaker. He ended it. Anybody that ends The Undertaker streak is going to get death threats, is going to get car tires flattened, is going to get whatever, right? House egged. You think Brock Lesnar cares about that? He's like, I'll end the streak because I'm Brock Lesnar. That's Ashwin, baby. He doesn't care.
No.
You're going to give me controversy. The team wants this. I'm going to do it right now. That's why he's the man.
He was the first person to retire out in the IPL's history. So
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't care. He's Ashwin. He's like, what are you going to do about it? This is what my team wants.
Criticizing him for that. I was like, there's no problem with that. I'm surprised that no one even thought about it before in T20 cricket.
Once, and you'll know this, and you're going through this as a YouTuber. The comment section, that's baptism by fire, baby. The comment section, that'll make your skin tougher and thicker, even if you don't know it. And Ashwin's got a big channel. He's got a comment section. This guy does not care, right? I was listening to an interview with him and DK with some guy. I'm not sure the guy was. And they were talking about appealing and getting mad at the umpire without being able to do too much. And he was talking about how DK was like, he was more angry when he was younger. And he's asking the host, he's like, what would you do if you know you got the wicket and the umpire's not giving you the finger? Like, you would do some kind of appeal. You do some kind of like antics, right? He's like, I'm sitting there bowling and I thought it was a wicket, didn't get the wicket. I look over there and I can't bowl any more balls because DK is literally lying on the crease, laying down on the crease in protest for that not being called a wicket. He's like, DK was an animal back in the day. And even DK himself, he's like, oh, I've calmed down since then. But could you imagine that game? The guy just lies down. We're not playing until you give my man the wicket. That's hilarious.
Like a big fan now. Now, Jack, as an umpire, if somebody shows you up like that, like, what do? Because here's the thing, right? The appeal, I don't care what you say, you're showing up the umpire. Now, the more, forceful the appeal, the more, I love some of the shouts where,
yeah,
you get guys that go up. But if you lay on the, that's awesome. That's awesome. Tough. I'm sure he got fined a game check. Who cares?
Hamburglers here.
That's funny.
I would just be composed and just block that out and just see it as I, call it as I see it. And I was like, not out. No, oh, yes, out. Yeah, no,
I would have a hard time not cracking up as an umpire. Just like, you know what, dude? You earned it. Here's that finger. We'll go. But
there is a thing in cricket called excessive appealing. Or massive appealing, excessive appealing.
Oh, that's SRH. Every single ball he appeals.
Listen, I think that one that I posted on Instagram with Bolt a few matches back, that might have been on the edge of excessive. He gave him a look, and he's like, and then eventually the guy did it, and he's like, yes. That was a glorious appeal, and he got the appeal. The umpire was scared. Those eyes, that look that Bolt gave him, holy cow. We got a super chat here from Biggs. What's up, Biggs? Gabe, I just want to clear things up. West Indies didn't dump Russ. He chose only to play CPL and World Cups for West Indies. His injuries came under KKR mainly. I've heard about that he himself has chosen when and where he's going to play, basically.
Well, when you're him, you can do whatever you want. When you're him, you can do whatever you want.
It's okay when the athlete makes the decision, right? But not the organization?
And, I didn't realize, Nick, he bowls at $140. He bowled out King Williamson today at $140. Like,
oh, yeah.
And you can go up and give me 50 runs in, 15 balls. Holy cow. If the guy could just stay healthy, but, he's Mr. Glass. But if the guy could just stay healthy, holy cow. No, I have not seen John Boy's latest breakdown. Guys, I've been in town for a day. And I did watch Robbie's last appearance, by the way, on CFA. But, yeah. I'm just saying I did not see John Boy, and I'm loving that John Boy's doing more IPL. And again, he's got a huge audience.
Oh,
audience.
Is that far enough? Yeah, that's got to be far enough. That's really high. Jeez Louise, that's a mile in the air. Markram. Ooh.
And we're just talking about it. Nick, they put in Aiden Mark before Perron, the $2 million man. Just saying.
Listen, you got to have someone when wickets are falling. You got to have someone that's got the propensity, the ability to hit those sixes.
Oh, here we go.
KGF 2. Yep, we're gonna watch that today. We're going in a few hours, ladies and gentlemen. Going in a few hours.
Nick, what's going on with Chakrabarti? He's got 16 earned. He is getting pumped right now. What happened?
He is garbage right now. Honestly, we were, what's the right word? We were celebrating this guy, right? We were shouting the rooftops how amazing this guy was 2 IPLs ago. And then he got a chance to go into the international side. Then he got hurt.
And he hasn't been the same.
Hasn't been the same.
I mean, he's getting goodied right now. His earned is 16.9. Oh, it's so bad.
Russell and Perron are joining TKR. Oh, gosh.
Hold that, cousin.
Oh, gosh. That's just not fair. Oh, it's collusion. Ooh. It's some kind of conspiracy.
Ooh.
Everyone hates. They hate the Trimbago. Not Trimbago. I'm sorry. The Barbados Royals. They hate them. They want them to continue to be at an average of 100 runs per match. I hate them so much. It's not fair.
Well, Nick, as I told Jack earlier, and I think I've been true to my word, there's not been a rant yet. You know, we went down to Mexico. I got the massage, and then I went with the people with the stones, and they clean your aura and all that stuff. I don't know. I bought some magnet or whatever that's supposed to help you balance your body. And even when things were looking bad, yes, there was a 101.15 earlier. I thought it was over after SRH IPL went down.
You're so stupid.
But
oh man,
I am not gonna lose my mind. That's my goal, not to lose my mind. Even though Chahar is now out for the entire IPL. Thank you. Thank you very much, CSK.
Is he really? Apparently. No, you don't want to thank CSK for that. Oh, that's straight in the air. That might get caught. That is a straight in the air.
Oh my!
No, it's 6. Oh my gosh! Did you see the angle? That launch angle was probably like 80 degrees. How did that go so far without? Wow! You think the wind's carrying a little bit? That was straight up in the air. That's nuts. Oh, Tripati's on my squad. I love it.
Because I did not go with Tripati. I just checked my fantasy lineup.
Yeah, well, you went with Andre Russell as your vice captain. That was a great move. I'm telling you, I keep going with Venkatesh Iyer. I keep doing it, assuming eventually he's gonna score some runs. The one time I don't go with him, Gabe, mark my words, he'll go off. He'll go off.
I went with Sharma, and all Sharma did was give me 1 point.
I went with Sharma too. Yeah, garbage.
Bum. Oh man.
SRH is winning. Oh, Robbie's gonna lose his mind. The laugh is gonna be relentless in the next video.
Oh, we can't do another Robbie. Oh my gosh.
Listen, Dr. Blasphemer has cured him. He's the greatest non-credentialed, non-doctor-esque doctor in the world. He's the best.
I still remember Robbie's first appearance on Dr. Blasphemer on the couch. He says, we're going to win it all. Like, even Dr. Blasphemer was like, wow, we're going to win it all. Oh.
Dr. Blasphemer couldn't even help him the first time. So really, he only got one true session for Dr. Blasphemer, and he's completely cured.
Holy cow, dude. Dude, in 10 overs, this 11th over, they're already at 100. Holy cow.
I love it.
You have 100 and...
Hey, Nick,
I love it.
I'll be right back.
I thought Tripati was injured, so I went with Sharma too. Oh, luckily for me, he's just always on my squad, so I don't have to worry about it. Jack, have you got into the fantasy aspect of the IPL yet? Have you? Nice. What's your name?
He gave me an automatic name. He called me the Dibbly Gunners for some reason. I can't change it, so I'm sticking with it. The Dibbly
automatic name?
What? I can't change it. It just gave me that name. Maybe someone else has Dibbly Dobbly in another league or something. They gave me that name by default. And I was like, okay, we'll roll with it. So I'm known as the Dibbly Gunners. So
it could be like the Dibbly Unicorn or something like that.
Yeah, well, at least they gave me some respectability.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think I'm in the 60s, I think. So got like 4,000 points.
They Dibblied with the D at the end of Dibbly. I love it. Dibblyed.
Yeah.
You've been Dibblyed. Let's see. You went with Shreyas Iyer, so did I. Oh gosh. Umesh Yadav. Ooh. So have you played this before in past seasons?
Not in past seasons, but I've done it for like ICC World Cups and stuff like that. Fantasy.
Okay. So
But
just
never
keep
for
in mind
IPL.
you have only so many transfers. I mean, you have quite a bit left. But yeah, you're not doing too bad. Did you join a little bit later in the season?
Yeah, a little bit late. I think I joined after the first few matches. I think it was after 10. So it came in a bit late to the party, but I'm here now. So
watch out, because Dibbly's gunning for you.
it won't let me change it, Renell. I can't change it for some reason. It's not letting me change it. I didn't want to go with that name, but it said you're going to be called the Dibbly Gunners for some reason. I was like, okay. So,
Raul wants us to make a comparison review between Triple R and KGF2. I don't know how respectful that is. You got two different film industries, two different films. That would be interesting. Renell says you can. Dibbly Dobbly says he cannot.
It's not letting me change it. As I said before, it's not letting me change it.
Oh, here we go. Like I said over 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, Joe Root is false. He's fake. He's not a real, true captain. And today or yesterday, or whatever it was, sadly enough, he's announced that he's stepping down as the captain of the test squad. Rightfully so. The test team has been in shambles. They are a shell of their former self. They're like the skin that the snake leaves behind when he sheds that skin, right? They're just nothing, lifeless. And I got crushed for tearing apart Joe Root when I first watched cricket. Looks like I was right all along. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Now, as an Australia fan, you've got to be loving it, Jack. You've got to absolutely be loving it.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier with Gabe when we discussed it because someone else asked it earlier on. I feel sorry for him in a way. Because it's a tough job and it's not an easy job with him in England. And I thought he did the right thing, rather than be sacked or pushed. It's best to go on your own terms. And that's what he did. So he can focus on his batting now, and hopefully England, need to find a new captain now, along with a new coach and director of cricket. So they're going to be busy in the next few weeks to months before the summer begins, which doesn't look good for them. If you're reading the tea leaves, it doesn't look good for them this international summer in England, to be honest.
No. Not at all.
No.
And listen, if you're another international team, you're just checking your calendar and hoping that you're playing against them.
Yeah.
Because you might have a better go at it than in times past. So it's 108 and 2 lost here in almost the end of 12 overs. You got Tripathi losing his mind with 60 runs. You got Markram, he's existing at 21 runs. And we got the ultimate mush who just joined us right now. Gabe, aren't you so impressed with my ability to predict the truth years past about Joe Root? Aren't you proud of me for knowing the truth way back when? And I got crushed. Talk about comment section. I got crushed. The Barbie Army had a watch out for me with pictures up everywhere. This guy shows up. You call us right now. Looks like I was right.
Nick's picture was on wanted walls and post offices all over England. Okay. There was a wanted posters for him all over or whatnot. It was bad. It was all bad. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, Joe Root gone as captain. Some people blame you. Nick. They're just saying.
They blame me for being correct, for seeing the truth all along, seeing the tea leaves and knowing how to, what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now, but tell you what they say. Come on, man.
Exactly. Oh, boy. This thing's going to finish. I mean, we don't get some wickets quick. Wow.
What do I think about Hardik Pandya's captaincy? Oh, I was going to do a video yesterday about that match, but it was date night, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very impressed. Hardik Pandya looks like the MVP of the league right now. This guy can bowl. This guy can captain. This guy can captain high pressure. This guy can bat. I mean, he was almost their entire offense yesterday. This guy is absolutely incredible. Coming at number 4 is like the perfect spot for him. He is just walking on water right now. And I had mentioned in my comparison with them in the 2008 Rajasthan Royals, I want to see how they respond to a loss, right? They lost to SRH for crying out loud, right? And thanks to them, they turned Robbie 10 times more annoying than he already is. They bounced back in the way that they bounced back against the number 1 team, Rajasthan Royals. Now they're the number 1 team. I'm extremely impressed with Hardik Pandya. And, you know, luckily for them, they got the Hardik Pandya that everyone knew he could be. It's, as a Mumbai fan, I'm a little upset. Like, okay, where's this guy been the last 2 years? I get he's been injured, but holy cow. This guy got injured again like twice in that game yesterday, right? He had to be taken out after he got injured. He took himself out after 3 balls in his last over. But he's just out of control right now.
And I think that that's still a little bit of a knock on him, Nick. The fact that, I mean, he's not Andre Russell, Mr. Glass hurt, but, you know, he's not fully out of the woods yet. Because to your point, he did get, you know, came up limping a few times or whatever. But, dude, I was wrong. I'll say it 18 times. I was wrong. Man, was I wrong.
What else is new? We got a super chat here from Biggs. He says, but who would the England captain be, though? Listen to me. You got 3 options here, in my opinion. Okay, this is my wish list. Okay, this is my wish list. First, wouldn't you love? It's not going to happen. This is never going to happen.
If you say Johnny,
no.
I'm ripping off.
This is never going to happen. But wouldn't you love to see a England squad captained by Stuart Broad? Wouldn't you love to see that? I mean, this guy would be a savage out there, and he would like, you're going to be retired hurt if you don't sledge, if you don't appeal, if you don't yell at somebody. I would love to see that. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think England is they don't have enough apologies for the Queen if they allowed that to happen, because he's going to lose his mind, okay?
Stuart Broad would have them be dead bottom in the fair play points, Nick. Bro, they'd be at the bottom of fair play if Stuart Broad.
And you would care? You think he would care? No.
Not even a little.
And I'm not going to say Chris Wilkes. I know you guys want me to, but I don't think he has a chance of being the captain. No. Second, this is the safe choice, and I don't think it's the best choice. Okay, Ben Stokes, right? That's the safe choice. Vice captain. He captained that one series or that one game against West Indies. Didn't work out too well a couple summers ago. But this guy has been primed. The only thing I'm hesitant about is where, and I'm not trying to knock the guy, right? But where's his mental health at? Is he completely overcome? Is he completely locked in? Is he back to Ben Stokes before? Mentally, not sure exactly where he's at. And I'm not saying he's crazy. I'm not saying that, but you guys who follow cricket, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And third, ultimate wish list right here. Just to drive Gabe crazy, okay? I want some Burns action, baby.
Oh, my God. What's he going to drop him?
Owen Morgan style? He's going to drop himself? Obviously, I'm just kidding about that last one.
He's going to drop himself, Nick? I'm just curious. He's going to drop himself.
There we go. Major Merck got it before I said it. I love it. Yes, Don Antonio.
Are you kidding me? Come on. You know.
Oh, I love it. Don Best. That's another good option right there.
Only Nick could break my woosah-ness. Only Nick could break my keep calm and watch cricketness. You know.
Okay, we all knew that wasn't going to last too long. Listen. I don't know what would last longer. Your Zen or, you know, Mike Tyson being calm on TV with people yelling at him for 5 minutes. Come on.
Bro, I could see it now. Rory Burns going into the into the selectors meeting like, what? I got sacked from the captain.
I thought that guaranteed me a spot.
What's going? You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack, bring some seriousness to our stream here.
Yeah.
Who do you see as being the next captain for England?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Well, most people are saying Ben Stokes, but I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure either.
Because he's got a lot on his plate, being an all-rounder. And Ben Stokes, if he is captain, then, okay, they've gone with that choice, but I wouldn't go with him. I don't know. People are saying Broad, but he hasn't got long to go. It won't be Anderson. That would be
so awesome. So. That's the whole point, though, Jack. He doesn't have long to go. Let him give him a whole year, right? Give him a whole year. He can't be dropped off.
Going to be there for a long time, so you might as well invest in a young player.
Do you? Look at their state right now. Listen, put in a guy like Broad right there. Broad's absolutely insane, right? Think about that experiment. You put him in there. If it goes well, they know what kind of captain they want for the future. If it doesn't go well, oh, wow, who's an old Stuart Broad? What are we supposed to do? Next? I mean, you can't lose.
I tell you what, I feel better about Stuart Broad than Rory Burns. There's just no way. A guy that could get dropped at any point. There's just no way.
That was joking.
No way. Come on. It'll probably be Ben Stokes. But here's the thing. When we talk about captaincy, right? Ben Stokes has also had some off-the-field issues. I'm just saying, all right? Captaincy requires a lot of patience. You got to carry yourself in a certain way. And punching people in the face in pubs don't go hand in hand with captaincy. Just saying. You know what I mean? Oh, Johnny
Broad punched anybody.
Oh yeah, that was Ben Stokes, bro.
No, not Stuart Broad. I thought you said Stuart Broad.
No, Ben Stokes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And look, I guess they look. They said right here in the chat. Stuart Broad's already been a white ball captain with mixed results. So
yeah, T20 captaincy he had for a while there.
I don't know why they thought about that. Have they not seen the tape on Stuart Broad in T20? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Stuart Broad got more neck injuries than anyone else in the history of their career when he was in T20. Looking at all the sixes go off. I mean, come on, man.
Another one? Josh Butler is interesting because, I mean, white ball captain, I could see.
Yeah. I could see that actually. That's a good choice. I could see that. Good job, Prick shit. Appreciate that. That's a good choice. I don't know if it'll happen. But he's got the right moxie, right? He's got the right amount of experience. The guy can lead you in scoring. He's obviously going to have a relationship with the bowlers. I like that. What do you think about that one, Jack? Josh Butler.
Yeah, I think it would be good to succeed Owen Morgan as the limited overs captain for England, ODIs, T20s. I think he's a good choice. I think some people have mentioned him about the Tests team, but I don't think he will because he's not playing well in Test cricket, and they've got Ben Foakes in there, so who looks like going to be the keeper long term.
What wicketkeeper does play well in England Tests? Ben Foakes? That guy gets replaced more times than I have no idea who.
He's actually a good player. Right he just hasn't had the opportunities. So they played him in the Caribbean. He was the main keeper there. So, and obviously Johnny Bairstow is probably not going to be keeping wicket again. I don't think.
Oh, that was close. They say that Ben Foakes is terrified of number 3. Absolutely terrified. Why? Because he never plays 3 matches in a row. Never gets chosen 3 matches in a row. He doesn't even know the number 3 exists for crying out loud because all he knows is 1 or 2. He's going to be your captain?
It's not in his contract. It's not in his contract.
No, he's like, I don't play 3. I don't do that. Oh, that was so close. Sheldon Jackson. That's twice now that he's not out of position, but he's just in the wrong place as the wicketkeeper trying to get the other one was a leg by, or not a leg by, but just a bye. It was a wide that went for 4, and that one could have been a catch.
Will KKR make the playoffs? You know what? I tell you what, guys.
Good chance.
They have a chance to make the playoffs. I did not expect Guttaraj to be as good as they are. So
no one did.
DC is going to be up there. I don't know, man. Punjab sometimes play great, and sometimes there's been a lot of balance, a lot of parity. Other than Mumbai, the two teams aren't going, shockingly, are Mumbai and CSK. Everybody else, even SRH, is kind of in the mix. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Thank you, Suman. Thank you. It's the magnet. It's the magnet. The magnet helps me center my body and zen, and I haven't lost my mind once.
Oh, another 4. How's the magnet working now? Is that 2 boundaries in a row? Is that a magnet for force? Is that a magnet for misery? Is that a magnet for your tears? They're gonna go right to it. They're gonna go right to it. We got Manga. Thank you so much, Manga. We appreciate that. If you got a Manga addict, if you got a comment for us, please let us know.
14 in that over, Nick. 14
Magnet backfires. Look at Tejas. Magnet backfires. Experiment failed.
Bro, it reminds me of have you ever seen Jack, have you ever seen Ocean's I think it's Ocean's 12 when what's the dude from that 70s show that is in there, the skinny one that ended up getting fired? Eric, what's his real name? Anyway, he's in there because he's held up in a hotel, right? For
Topher Grace.
And Topher Grace, and he's like, "Come on, Topher, it's my place." He said, "I know, Rusty, but this girl, she left me." It's like this Kabbalah crap doesn't even work. He's taking the yeah. I'm 2 seconds from throwing the magnet out of the window right now. What is going on?
Wow, Tripathi, baby, another 6. Oh man.
Oh my.
Why did I not make him my vice captain?
Just not quite getting it right here, Kolkata.
It's Tripathi. They're making him look like he's Faf. They're making him look like he's Virat Kohli. They're making him look like Tripathi. It's Rahul Tripathi. Are you kidding me? You're gonna lose to Rahul Tripathi. Oh gosh.
That was a beautiful shot. Did you see how he just went with where the line was of that ball, and he just tweaked his hips a little bit, stayed pat. He's in the zone right now. Oh, he's in the zone. Come on. Oh, that's another one. No, he caught it. He caught it. No.
Russell. Let's go, Russell. Get me that.
I am the worst at predicting where it's gonna go. At least my captain, Venkatesh Iyer, did something with that catch.
Your captain?
Louise.
You made Venkatesh.
I told you. The one time I don't go with them, he's going to get 3,000 runs.
Nick, I am personally going to make an appointment with you with Dr. Blasphemer, bro.
Can you get 3,000 runs in T20? Is that mathematically possible?
Did you really made Venkatesh Iyer your captain?
Yes. Check the tape. Listen.
Yeah.
Hey, you shut your mouth about Venkatesh Iyer.
Oh,
he's the man.
Can we get to the song Underbelly?
How does Abhishek Sharma have me 1 point? How is that even possible? How does a guy get me 1 point?
That's a waste of a transfer.
I mean, Ashwin got more than 1 point, and he retired himself. How does he get me 1 point? Oh my gosh. Appreciate the super sticker there, Parikshit. We appreciate. If you have a comment, please let us know. 1 point.
Come on.
Thanks a lot, Sharma.
Get Nicholas Puran and we win this game.
Oh, you think it's that simple, huh?
I mean, come on. Who's going to guide you home? Aiden Markram? Stop. This ain't South Africa, cousin.
Do you see his strike rate right now? Do you see what he's done so far? Come on. Who will be the MVP this season? Right now, it's Hardik Pandya. I'm telling you.
Hardik Pandya does look like the MVP this season.
The all-rounders, they have the advantage. They get the run scoring and they get the wickets.
Oh, yeah. Hardik is going to replace Venkatesh Iyer in this World Cup. Bro, Venkatesh Iyer's face is about to get put on the back of a milk carton because he's going to be missing. All right. They don't know where. Have you seen this guy? No. Done.
What? Why are you so jealous? Did he take your spot on the Indian national side? Was it Gabe or Venkatesh Iyer? Why are you so mad at this guy?
Listen, I just think there's more deserving all-rounders. I got nothing against them. But think about it, Nick. Think about the guys we've been calling to be on the Indian international team for years. now and can't make it. It took Sky until he was 34 to debut. And Venkatesh Iyer still got Similac on his breath, okay? For those of you that don't know, Similac is that powdered baby milk that they give the kids, like
Formula.
the kids or whatever. Similac. He got Similac on his breath because he's so young. And somehow this guy lucked into a place where every all-rounder for India was hurt, so somehow he gets on the team. No Axar Patel, no Ashwin, well, for other reasons. You know what I mean? Like, no Jadeja, nobody else. There was no one else, and they had to turn to this guy. Just saying. Just saying.
Gabe, would you say that Venkatesh Iyer has not had the best match today?
I would definitely say Venkatesh Iyer has not had the best.
Do you know that Venkatesh Iyer has 25 more points than Abhishek Sharma? On my fantasy squad?
Oh,
what is that? If Venkatesh Iyer has gotten your ire, ooh, you saw that right there? Gotten your ire.
I like what you did.
What about Abhishek Sharma? I mean, this guy, if Iyer's destined for the milk carton, where's Sharma destined for? Come on.
Well,
is his punishment to get your magnet? Is that the punishment? Now you got to wear this.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh, I love it. Come on, Markham. Let's get this chase going. Crush the hearts of KKR fans across the world.
I mean, it's shit. 41 on 32 isn't a lot, man. But you need one more wicket. Get Nicholas Perron's wicket and this thing's over.
I'm curious about the KKR fans. I'm curious if they even know what KKR is. I think all KKR fans are more SRK fans, right? They wear the gear, they have the merch, all that kind of stuff. And then when someone says, "Oh, you like cricket?" and they're like, "What are you talking about? This is an SRK shirt. This is a cricket team. I'm gonna take this crap off." Right? I don't know about their fans. I haven't seen too many of their fans that aren't SRK fans. I'm just saying.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you?
We don't have any guys in the CFA Nation that like bleeds the purple and the yellow, purple and the gold.
You mean there's no Robbie fans? KKR doesn't have the diehard Robbie fans.
Robbie's been in existence for 3 weeks. He already has more fans than KKR has in CFA Nation. Right now, in the comment section, I want you to let me know if you, not that you like KKR, not that they're one of your 5 favorite. No, who is a true KKR fan? Don Antonio, don't start lying to me right now.
36 on 30. Oh, man. All right, Jack, let us know. 36 on 30 going into the death. Who do you got right now?
No, SRH.
With wickets in hand and going well at the moment, the Sunrisers look pretty good. But if Kolkata can get a couple of wickets here, then the game could swing to them in their favour. So it's going to be interesting this
Come on, Jack.
5-over period.
You got to give us an answer. Who are we going with, SRH or KKR?
Now, if I had to choose one, I would say Sunrisers here.
Blasphemer! That's it. The magnet's coming up.
Oh man. It didn't last more than 3 hours. Oh, that was it. Money well spent.
It didn't last the whole stream, Nick. Oh man.
Didn't you give a 10-minute speech about how you were a changed man and that for the rest of your life? That lasted 3 hours.
Look, Savannah got me an emotional support dog because the cricket's been so tough. Come here. All right. Look, Nick, can you see it in the camera? Say hi.
Oh, yes.
See, he's going to help me out because CSK is killing me here. Yes.
Dog, run and hide, okay? He did run after 3 hours. What's he going to do to you after 3 hours? Run and hide. he doesn't hold on to good luck charms for long. Come on.
The Magnet 10115.
Exactly.
Dude. You can't.
He's gone through more luck charms than Aaron Finch has gone through IPL teams. Come on.
Wow. Aaron Finch is like, what did I do? Come
Aaron
on.
Finch, you know exactly what you did.
How do you
Sheldon Jackson.
How do you give up a 4 to Adam Markham right now? How dare you?
Listen, 36 off 30. If SRH lose, they should retire from the league. Absolutely. kind of question is that? Who's gonna win? Stop
Listen,
it.
all they need is a wicket, because after that, bro, that underbelly is soft.
I want to get back to this comment there, back to KKR fans. Let me see. Where's Major Merck at? I can't find the comment, but he said that they have like the most fans in the league. That's my exact point. Do they have true KKR fans, or is it all SRK fans? SRK is like, he's like a living legend in India. On his birthday, this guy comes out on his rooftop and he has thousands of people trying to get a picture of SRK on the rooftop. Oh. They must not know about Google Images. You can get pictures for free on there of SRK all you want. There's another 6 right there. It's all about SRK, baby. No one cares about the team.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Chakravarti is going to get hootied, Nick, in 3 overs. He's 6 runs away from getting hootied. Bye, babe.
You know what's crazy is Rahul Chahar, right? Who's he playing for now? The Kings? Chahar gave up 29 runs against Brevis in Mumbai in this first over. He finished his 4 overs only giving up 40 total. That's impressive right there.
That is impressive.
29 in your first over, only end up giving up 40. Man alive.
Oh, Chakravarti. Ew. You know what?
So stupid.
I don't even have to wait. It's a hootie. He's hootied. Oh, my God. Bro, 45 runs in 3 overs. You should be disgusted. Don't let him touch the ball again. Andre Russell, you're the only one that can save us. Take Karan's wicket.
Are you saying after he's done, not only do they give the ball to the new bowler, but they also get a Clorox wipe out and they wipe that thing down? Get all of that bad juju off of this ball. Here you go now.
Bro, I'm saying after they're done, Chakravarti might find himself, he's going to be like swiping his key to get into the team hotel. My key's not working. Oh, you didn't get the memo.
You know how the message says like access denied? His is going to say recently denied. I mean, he's done.
It's
Zion. I stand corrected. We have a true KKR fan in CFA Nation. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Narayan in the death? Why?
Baby. The Hamburglar. Did you see Rajasthan put in Jaiswal in the death, and that when they were leading by like 4 runs with 1 over left to go? What did he do on the very first ball? 6. He gave up in 1 ball.
Dude,
these teams are desperate.
You don't play a spinner in the death. What, Jack? What is going on? I was in Mexico for a week, not a year. All right. Am I still watching cricket? Why a spinner in the death? You know what? I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're bowling him now. It's a big risk bowling him now, bowling a spinner in the last few overs. You'll have to get out of this over very well.
What's the dog's name? Ace?
Ace.
Sorry?
Ace, run! Run, Ace!
Run, Ace, run!
He doesn't even have the bat anymore. He threw in the trash already. They don't have dog-sized trash cans. Run!
Dude, I'm telling you, it's my emotional support. Like, what do you have? Cricket. That's what. Okay, the pain.
Gabe, as you say, inquiring minds want to know. How was the vacation?
You know, the vacation was good, with the exception of not being able to watch cricket because
you got a serious issue.
I'm serious. Bro, I told you, I was pissed. ESPN. I need a VPN, bro, because I didn't realize even Netflix, all that stuff is different in other countries or whatever. So like, you know, I was like, what's going on here? But
you're supposed to just unplug on vacation. You're supposed to just escape and enjoy the family.
Yeah.
You got serious issues, man.
Well, be honest, Jack. You've been on family vacations. When you spend too much time with your family, they tend to piss you off. Oh, they go. I'm gonna sit here and lie. My kids drove me crazy at least 3 times.
Okay, this is the internet. It's on here forever.
It could be on here forever. They know it. Savannah knows.
Did Markham just get a 50? Oh, you said he was trash, did you not?
That's all right. South Africans can go ahead and join New Zealanders who hate me. Kane Williamson,
oh
trash.
Man, missed that run out. What a horrible throw by the Hamburglar.
Oh,
he should have used his illegal delivery on that one. Oh, that was horrible.
Allegedly. Nick, we're going to stop this. Allegedly, okay? Just saying.
Allegedly, he's got busted 15 times for the allegedly.
Well, to his credit, he's Narayan has not gotten pumped and almost got a run out. Come on. Almost got a run out. So,
Zach, what is a common? I want you to give me some Australian slang, okay, or Australian phrase for like calm down or it's okay or something like that. And I know no worries, that's a common thing, but I want you to give me something like, a deep cut that I can use for gigs. I got to use it all the time. For like a calm down or it's okay or something like that. Give me some kind of Aussie phrase.
Some Australian slang. Or I think we always use it. Calm your farm. It's one.
Calm your farm.
Yeah. Like chill out, calm your farm. Yeah, calm your farm.
Calm your farm. I love it.
That's the only one I can think of.
I love it.
Yeah, calm your farm.
Yeah.
Take the advice. Calm your farm. Come on, man.
Bro, listen. The magnet went flying somewhere, and soon the hat's going to as well. How do you lose SRH?
Did it stick to something?
How do you?
You gotta be careful with that magnet though, because you put magnets next to a cell phone, it's gonna ruin it, man.
Yeah. If only.
Don't stand too close to the microwave.
Nick,
cool thy jets. Is that another one? Cool thy jets.
Yeah. Cool your jets.
Come on, Patty Cummings, get me a wicket. How are you going to lose the SRH? That's embarrassing.
Dude, they're the only team that beat the Titans. They turned it from the Titans to the Molecules in one game.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. They're going to win it all. They beat CSK, who was the champions last year. They beat the Titans, who were undefeated this year until then. And, wait a minute. They're about to beat KKR, who lost to CSK last year in the championship. Oh, my gosh. Nick, they're on some kind of roll. Robbie must be besides himself. You got to be kidding. Garbage.
Why do you hate Robbie so much? What did he do to you?
Because nothing good has ever come out of... I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. I was going to say other than the biryani, and there goes a 4. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, my gosh. You're attacking the whole city now?
Everyone, everything. It's all
they
dark.
won. You went from not going to get mad at all to attacking an entire city?
I don't know what happened. Dude.
Wow.
Who is bowling last two? Panda. Last two? They're not going to get out of this over. Last two? Patty Cummings getting pumped like a Christmas tree. Oh, my God.
Gabe, let me explain something to you about SRH. If they win today, which they will.
Oh, gosh.
Then, that one hurts. If they win today, which they will, since their winning streak started, every other team's lost during that streak besides SRH. Just saying.
Are you serious? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, just saying.
I mean, man.
Oh, man.
But Patty Cummings, I mean, how do you give up? Patty Cummings needs to look at himself in the mirror and say, how did I give up 10 runs to that guy?
Listen, he loves the number 6. He doesn't care if he gives it up. He doesn't care if he hits it. He just loves the 6. He loves when those hands go in the air.
You know what? Patty Cummings needs to go on the couch. You give up 10 runs to bark him on back to back.
Oh, is that it, baby?
Give it a 6.
He almost hit the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, Patty Cummings almost. Oh, my
dear.
Goodness gracious. SRH is the number 1 team Okay. Robbie said it best when he said that the girl in the front office, no one knows what she does, but she's doing a fantastic job at it. Right? SRH is number one. They have 6 points right now, and everyone is going crazy.
Oh my gosh. And to add insult to injury, Nick, to add insult to injury, okay, Patty Cummings just got hootied. All right. Are you kidding me? Oh,
hasn't he gotten hootied every match so far this season?
Oh gosh, dude. It's ridiculous. This
he may have.
Gentlemen, one of the weirdest things has happened. I mean, it's I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't. But currently, CSK and Mumbai are at the bottom of the points table. SRH has now vaulted to with this
third
win. What are they at now, Nick?
Well, there's a bunch of teams. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6 teams with 6 points. They have the same amount of points as KKR, baby.
It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And this year of the IPL has been crazy, to say the least. Boys and girls, here, this is an educational channel. This is why there should never be any gambling on sports. Don't wager your wages because no one knows. No one knows. We're a bunch of clowns, all right? We don't know what we're talking about. We're just like sports. But all the experts, and that's right, I'm calling them out, the Harsha Bogleys and all those other guys. Oh, Guttaraj, they had a tough auction. CSK pulls it out once again on the second day of the auction. Did they really? Did they? I don't think so. SRH had a rough auction. Oh, SRH did really? Bro. Oh my gosh.
Does it make you feel better to know that Tripathi was on KKR squad last year? And that he did this against your squad?
Not even a little bit, Cotton. Not even a little bit. Honestly, bro, they get paid to do this. We don't, all right? They get paid. That's their job. These sports analysts, these cricket analysts. And, CSK. I knew it at the auction. Everybody's like, CSK did well on the second day of the auction. They saved their team. No, they didn't. No. Wait, who? How? Really? Oh, my gosh, Nick, you got it. Bro.
Legit. That was us. That was us. We overacted on the names. Okay? How dare you?
You better cut me off Twitter because I'm about to DM Harsha Bogley. Like, bro, you're killing my fantasy team. You're killing my fantasy team.
Hey, 101.15. Weren't you just saying like an hour and a half ago that you're going to be very calm and you're good to go? And
magnet didn't work. What do you want me to tell you? Oh my god!
It has nothing to do with magnets or dogs or any kind of soap you can find out there. It has to do, Gabe. Let's have a serious talk right here. It has to do with how you feel about the inner Gabe. Okay. Can you accept inner Gabe as a valued person in your life? If you can, you will not get so angry.
Not in a world where SRH is ahead of the standings. Not in a world where SRH is ahead of the standings.
Hey. Let me just do like a public disclaimer. Okay. SRH was not harmed in the making of this video, even though Gabe is trying. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. So they just updated the points table. SRH is still at number 7. They're tied for second with the points because their net run rate. They have the worst net run rate of all the 6-point teams. They're at number 7. They're ahead of DC, CSK, and Mumbai. The world's gone upside down.
Thank you. I might return the dog. Nick. The dog's not even helping me.
I'm telling you. Tell him to run away. Tell him to run.
Oh, Jack, help me out here, man. This is the upside down. Look at this team on paper. They're garbage. How has SRH beat Guttaraj, CSK, and KKR back to back to back? I don't know anything about cricket. I'm done. I need to start again. I'm starting from scratch. Day one.
Man of the match? I'll tell you the man of the match. It should be the magnet of the match, the one that Gabe was wearing. Because that's what was the difference right there.
I mean, honestly, look at this team on paper and tell me you think that this team should 3 in a row? They should be at the bottom of the stand. What am I missing, man? I don't know.
Well, momentum. It's a big thing in cricket. Once you get the momentum, you start getting on a roll, you start to believe, and that's what the Sunrisers have done. And, they played well today. Kolkata didn't quite execute with the ball. Disappointing with the way they finished off this match with the ball. Batted well to get to 170 odd after losing wickets early. So that's a positive. The negative is the bowling didn't quite execute, and Sunrisers were able to pounce on that poor bowling and got the runs in the end.
I don't want to hear do. I didn't see a lot of towels out there, right? So it wasn't like, oh, don't blame the do. It was just bad bowling. You gave it up to Chapati, bro. Honestly, it wasn't MS Dhoni out there, all right? It wasn't AB de Villiers. The Chapati. That's who.
Chapati's he's had a good season so far this year. Trust me, I wouldn't know fantasy-wise. But like I was said from the very beginning of the school year, of the IPL season, I was right once again. Group A, Group B, it does not matter. All teams are equal. And this is another sign of that. There's no bias in cricket in the IPL. Every team has a chance, like I've been saying from day one.
Oh, there's no more group of death for you, huh? There's no more group of death for you, huh?
I have changed my stance on that.
Dude, this is, what's funny? They say that there's a lot of gambling that goes on with, the IPL. I don't know how. You must be nuts if you bet. There's no way. There's just no way, bro.
Look at Tom. This guy, he's like,
yes,
he wakes up. And before he thinks about attacking Jerry, right? This guy wakes up and he's like, let me see how Group B did. This is my life work right here. This guy's quit his job, right? He's exiled himself from his family. He stopped hunting the mouse just to see if Nick will eat his words. Well, Tom, your dream was come true. You can go back to work. You can go re-enter society. I was wrong about that. Okay?
He said you could go re-enter society.
It's okay. Life can continue for you now.
Oh, man.
Go get that mouse. Go get him.
Bro, honestly, bro, bookies must have, what's funny, too? I was talking to my friend Anthony, and they have, remember I told you they got the Ashes out here on the books. You could bet the Ashes. You could bet international matches. Funny enough, you cannot bet domestic leagues, all right? They don't have the IPL on the boards. Possibly there's a reason. Because bro, you don't understand the amount of betting that goes on. I've known personally guys I've driven to go bet $1 million on a game. People are insane. How do you do it with the unpredictability of the IPL? You just can't. And
no, not at all.
It's
I would say that about any sport, to tell you the truth. That's just me.
Any sport is unpredictable, but is cricket the most unpredictable sport? Specifically, like T20, the IPL has got to be the most unpredictable sport. Jack, there's no way anyone on the planet in their right mind thought SRH would be in the middle of the pack, tied with 6 points, 3-2.
I did.
And Mumbai and CSK were bottom feeders.
I was calling from the very beginning.
Oh, yes.
I did.
Robbie was, not you. Get out of here. Seriously. Really? Mumbai wouldn't battling with CSK for the wooden spoon? There's just no way. Nobody.
Yeah. It's just the unpredictable nature of T20 cricket. It's whoever executes on the day will win. And it's the most unpredictable format in cricket. And cricket's unpredictable as well. So you never know. There's no certainty, There's no certain winner. As I said, whoever executes with bat and ball over the 40 overs of a T20 match combined will win the game. And the Sunrisers won today. They came out on top. Whereas Mumbai, CSK, it's not quite their year. Things are not working out. And they've got to look at areas to improve on and get something out of this season because it doesn't look good. especially for Mumbai. They haven't won a game yet. So, yeah, it's just
that.
unpredictable.
On the other hand, gentlemen, I do have a new business venture I'd like to talk to you guys about. Of course, offline, but I may have found this a new business venture. Just saying.
No. The views he's about to say are not supported by CFA. They have not been approved.
I'm just saying, before the Vegas casinos jump on it, we could start our own book. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. IRS. Nope. He's not telling the truth. Get your bots out of here. He's joking around.
I gotta go. Jack's trying to hang up right now. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Anyway, man.
Hopefully the business venture isn't the magnets. Exactly. Thank you, everyone.
Those magnets suck. I'm gonna go on to the page, and they got Yelp in Mexico. There's some reviews. I'm gonna leave them a horrible review. First day, first match, and the magnets failed me. First match.
Yeah, you even finished the match. We appreciate everyone joining us here. Tom and everyone else, we appreciate the comments and all the love. I am going to finally officially start my New Year's resolution and go hit the gym for like the first time this year. So if you are happy for me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this video. Jack, thank you so much for joining us. Gabe, thanks so much for holding down the fort. I'm going to leave before I don't leave because I know I won't. I got KGF later on today. Me and Gabe will be checking that out. If you're interested in that, check out our instant reaction on Boring Reviews. But with everyone, have a great, wonderful day. The world turned upside down. Absolutely, SRH. And I'm going to bow out a little early, but thank you so much, everybody. Adios.
Jack, do me a favor. Drop the link in the comments. Let us know what's the most recent podcast you are working on, my friend. I have not made it to the gym since I've gotten back again. This is only my second day back, but that's normally when I like to listen to your podcast. But what's the most recent podcast you put out? When's some new content coming out?
Well, I just uploaded, re-uploaded. We'll be doing that over the next few weeks because I'm taking a bit of a break from the podcast. Got other things in my life that I need to work on.
Right now.
Yeah, so we just re-uploaded my. We're doing it in parts. My cricket discussion with former ICC Elite International umpire Daryl Harper.
Really?
And the first video that we released out in this, because I chatted to him last year. So the full chats are out on the podcast. They go for an hour long because I spoke to over 2 hours with him. But I'm just doing it like each of the topics we talked about in our chat. So it's more easier for people to listen or watch. So the first one is talking to him about his journey, how he got into cricket, how he started umpiring, and how he got to where he was as an international umpire. So that's the latest episodes that's come out. So you can listen to my reviews that I've done on Pakistan and Australia throughout the tests, ODIs, and T20 that happened, and some other episodes that I've done as well. You know, obviously rewatch the discussion that I had with...
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again, please?
Siri, be quiet. Sorry about that. Siri just jumping in there. Yeah, sorry, my phone's just glitching out there. What I was saying, you can rewatch my chat that I had with Nick and Gabe. I did that last year. Tom Scully from Cricket Mentoring. I've chatted to so many people. Even my recent guest was Mary Walden, Ireland International Women's wicketkeeper. I spoke to her, my first international player on the podcast. She was wonderful, and we had tremendous fun. We talked for over an hour, and we chatted about her journey. She came into cricket late. She actually played football, professional soccer.
Wow,
before
really?
she played women's cricket for Ireland. And now she's the wicketkeeper. She's been there for more than 10 years. So her journey is fascinating. She's also an umpire as well, but she's also playing as well, Gabe. So obviously playing takes priority first for her. And she said, after my playing days, I'll go and umpire international cricket, which she has done already. So she's, excelling in that area as well. So it was such a privilege to speak to her and just talking to people about their journey in cricket. That's why I do it. Like yourselves, with Nick and Gabe in that chat that we did ages ago.
Right.
Daryl Harper, Mary, Tom Scully from Cricket Mentoring, who's a young, who used to play cricket in England. mentoring young cricketers and coaching them here in Australia. So it was interesting hearing about his thoughts on the game. So,
and guys, I just put I put the link to his last video right there in the chat, so you can go ahead and click on that. Subscribe to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast if you haven't already done so. Jack's always got a great conversation, and unlike Nick and I, he gives you actually a level-headed opinion and view of things, and doesn't lose his mind as quickly as we do. You know, it's funny. They talked about if you are my Sinister Six, Jack, and I think that you were the first umpire that I had met, which, you know, that I liked. And I was like, no, you know, Jack can't go on there. But then I started thinking about it, and more, I didn't realize how many former players go into umpiring. Yeah. So when it's an actual player and you yourself play and umpire, you almost respect the decision more, because you're like, okay, then that person actually knows. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, this in baseball, for instance, Angel Hernandez never played a game a day in his life. You know what I'm saying? Cowboy Joe West was one of the worst professional baseball umpires ever. There's videos on how bad this guy is. He never played the game at all, so he has no idea what he's talking about. You know, in cricket, there's a couple guys that are synonymous with being bad umpires. But Steve Buckner, right? Just saying. Oh, Buck. But when you've got more and more umpires that are former players, you tend to respect their decisions a little bit more. And I think that the players themselves might respect those umpires more, because they realize, okay, yeah, you know what? You know, if the guy says not out, or he's probably right. So, but hey, thank you this morning. Much appreciated. Hopefully I didn't drive you crazy. I promise, I tried. I thought this thing was in the bag. I said 170, it's in the bag. And then to take out Kane Williamson and Sharma was down in the second over. I thought this game was, and somehow KKR blew it, and yeah. It happens.
It happens. It's cricket. It's unpredictable.
What are you going to do?
It doesn't go to plan, Gabe. It doesn't go to plan.
Anyway, brother, I'll check you out in the comment section. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast, and look out for another stream, possibly tomorrow morning. Until next time, that's 6 runs.
Later,
brother.